Nintendo. Yeah!
That's not supposed to happen.
That is not.
I said Mike's line this
Okay,
time.
when in the history of the Nintopics podcast do things ever work out the ways that they're supposed to? Never.
Only on our shows that are boring. And that doesn't happen either.
I got my coffee, guys.
Mike, cheers. 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 Cheers to the chat. Cheers to the chat.
Welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. We are live. It's Friday. It's time to smile, my friends. It is time to smile because there's no better time to join us here than a Friday night, right? The weekend is over. It's time to relax, sit back, and watch this new show called what's this new show called? Let me go look at it right now.
Cobra Kai.
Oh man, I'm still watching Cobra Kai. Nobody say anything. But I'm Severance on Apple TV. Severance on Apple TV. It's a crazy show. Start watching it now. This video is not sponsored by it, but it's a good show. It's a good show.
And also, anybody who saw my Panera coffee cup, we are also not sponsored by Panera. However, dear St. Louis Bread Company, who owns Panera Bread, if you would like to sponsor the Nintopics podcast, I'll let my friend Mike over here. All right, he'll help you out.
Yeah.
We love coffee.
Yeah.
It doesn't even need to be
Yeah,
financial. Just send us
Panera.
bread bowls.
Yeah, just bread balls, the pizzas that you have, and the broccoli cheddar, and with the little sandwich sweet combo, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
We haven't actually started yet. We're just live our banter right now. Mike is going to start in a minute.
And just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay, Mike, we still going? Or
There's no better place.
there we go.
Start your weekend.
What?
Now
Two.
take a deep breath and let go. Nintopics is here, so let it show. It's time to get your dance and your smile.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I'm
7, 8.
feeling happy with Nintopics Podcast. I feel like dancing with Nintopics
gotta do that.
Podcast. It's been a
As she
hard
booms
week,
me.
but I feel better now.
Come on, Bob.
It's time to flow with Nintopics
Hands up, Paul.
Podcast.
Come on,
Aaron
it's only 40
Cedillo.
days until the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.
Jarmar. We got a good group in here today. Hey, everybody.
It's ready to party. That's why.
I'm feeling happy with Nintopics Podcast. I feel like dancing with Nintopics Podcast. It's been a hard week, but I feel better now. It's time to flow with the Nintopics Podcast. Give us some emojis in the chat.
This is
Some
your part, the
emojis
chat.
in the chat. If you're happy, some emojis in the chat. Some emojis in the chat. Give us some emojis in the chat. Some emojis in the chat. If you're happy, some emojis in the chat. Some emojis in the chat.
All right, welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. Officially started right now, and we're here with the one, the only Joycey J. How are you doing, Dr. Joycey J? Hi. Okay, everything.
Hi.
I guess you'll catch you off guard.
That doesn't that sound nice though?
Yeah, jump scare you.
That's
A little
Mr.
bit.
Dr. Professor Joycey J to you.
Damn it. Sorry, darn it.
SpongeBob.
Cut that out in editing. Hey y'all, I'm Joycey J. It's been a very long week.
It has
I'm very excited to be here. So all I have to talk about is video games because the next person that asks me for a $10 million umbrella,
been.
cancel your policy. No, I'm kidding. No, I won't do that. Legally, I have to say that now because I made
That's
that.
a lot of rain for that umbrella. Cats, right?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. It works kind of like that. Oh wait, I'm off duty now. I don't have to. I'm not going to go to that. But I will talk about Nintendo. I'll even talk about PlayStation.
Yay!
There you go.
And all the way down to the network, Gail, Paul, Force. What's up, Paul?
Oh, happy that today is 40 days left until the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo
Wait,
Direct.
I forgot to share my countdown on Wix. Not cool. I share one every 10 days.
It's called Twitter.
Twitter. And what else, Paul? Anything else going on?
Yeah, I got these pretty sweet gold and platinum coins in the mail from Nintendo.
Wow. You got them right when they discontinued them.
They're discontinuing the digital, but they're keeping the physical alive.
Nice.
And playing a little bit of games, a little bit of Tetris, a little bit of Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Yeah.
And been a little gaming lately.
Like 2 weeks ago, Paul, you mentioned that you were playing Fortnite, and then you were like, "Man, this Fortnite is so amazing," and we have Godzilla. All the plans, right? And I'm like, I go there, and then they ended it. They ended it just days early. I'm like, man, I want to play with Godzilla.
Yeah, the new season started today. I know Sub-Zero is in it from Mortal Kombat, but I don't know what's like the cool new thing. Like last time, the cool new thing was playing as Godzilla and creating havoc.
Wait,
cool.
you were playing as Godzilla and you create havoc?
You could have the little Godzilla and King Kong skins.
Okay.
But you could actually also enter a map where you get to be the giant 383-foot tall Godzilla with radioactive breath and a stomp and a tail swipe on the map, and are against the other 90 other people if you get to control him quick enough. And you have just a giant health bar and people are shooting you, but you just destroy. And it's really cool to be him, and it was cool to be against him.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son had a lot of fun with that.
I missed that. They should add that. Like just have it there.
Bring it back. They've brought back things before. Like I was really into the Dragon Ball season because they had Flying Nimbus as an item, and you could just get on Nimbus and fly around, and you could get the Kamehameha, and anybody could use it. And that was kind of like the perk of the season. So, and then they brought back Dragon Ball later on, but not all of it, but some of it. So they could bring it back.
That's pretty cool.
I am very, very shocked right now. Normally I'm not a nitpicky type of nerd, but Paul, you called Godzilla's breath radioactive breath. Out of
not
anyone,
called that anymore now.
I would expect you to be the one to say atomic breath.
Now it's called, I think, officially atomic breath.
Mm-hmm. But no,
Yeah.
I know how big you are into Godzilla, so
I know.
hearing you not use the proper name, I was like, Paul?
Right.
I think they used to. I think it was radioactive breath for the long time, and then they converted it to. It is just called atomic breath now.
I see.
Right?
I see. Before my time, the transition happened. That makes sense.
Nah, listen, my time happened when Godzilla was still a guy dressed in the costume. And like this rubber costume is like this, like and then you can tell when there's like wires when he goes straight parallel to do a kick like that and just hit the other guy in the costume. That was my Godzilla back in the day when he was still in this rubber costume. I think he didn't have any atomic breath or bad breath or anything in particular like that. So it was just playing him just. And actually, not even the trademark, what is it, growl that he has? Which, yeah, which
I just got copyrighted because I did it.
Yeah, I mean, I know Godzilla. The one that they filmed, not the one that they did in the United States, but the one that they filmed. The other one was it was actually a really good movie. They couldn't use his official growl because it was copywritten. Godzilla 1000, 10,000, what is it? 5,000? What was that the name?
There's been several lately. Shin Godzilla came out, but that one was like in 2016. Then you have Godzilla -1.
That one, yeah, that's the one I'm talking
That one
about.
was like a year ago. That was a really good film.
It was really good, but they couldn't use his growl. You know, he did like a more like an animal growl than like an actual growl. Yeah. But we digress. We're not talking about here Godzilla. We're talking about Nintendo.
This is your Godzilla podcast now.
I'd be okay with that.
So what's going on, Zach? Talk to me.
Man, I am glad to be here. It has been a busy week. I've only had a chance to play some mobile games on my phone. I downloaded some Galaga ripoff game, Galaxiga. I think.
Galactica.
It's a very
Galaxiga.
they want you to subscribe and pay for like the better ships and stuff. But it has been nice just to be able to have a down minute, pull my phone out and move my thumb back and forth and still get some gaming in.
Galactica.
But yeah, it's been a good week. I filmed some cool content, and then also on I don't even know what day at this point, I picked up some set flats for film sets from a... They couldn't tell me what the shoot was, but someone accidentally said bathroom product. So there are 2 bathroom sets that were built. And I picked up these 10 by 13 foot walls. I don't know if I can send the picture since it's probably a little less than legal and how I drove them around. But I had a couple cops behind me, and they did not pull me over. So I think we were in the clear. But it was pretty cool to see. These are union sets built by some guys who work on stuff like the Bear and stuff like that, and they're trying to recycle instead of just trashing them.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
But just to have these giant 13-foot walls behind my car, I'm just like, I know the underpass is high enough, but I really hope it's actually high enough every time I went under a bridge.
Yeah.
So that was a fun week for me.
You had a bathroom in your car for a while.
I had 2 bathrooms in my car.
Bath and beyond and beyond. So beyond the beyond.
I'm gonna send a picture in the Discord.
All right. And so, well, I on my side have been enjoying these amazing little games here. This one right here in particular. This one, I'm dedicating my time to this one. And Joycey?
Yes, sir.
I am learning with this game a lot. As you guys know, I'm legally blind, so I can't really play a 3DS, but I own the game. I own the 3DS. And so I've actually put the game on my computer and I play it on Citra, right? And so, but I own the game. It's right there.
I'm okay with emulation when you own the game and for reasons that Mike is actually just as long as you own the game.
Yeah.
You own the system that plays it, but you decide to play it another way. I'm okay with that.
And the only one who I haven't done it with this, I was about to do this one, but then it came out on Switch, so I just bought it. But this game,
How are you liking it?
I'm loving it like crazy, and especially I'm like, what the heck? Low rule? Where
low
is
rule, child.
Where
low
is
rule?
Where is low rule in the rest of the games?
It's low rule. It's down there. It's low in the rule area.
Yeah, I mean, I
get
got
low.
Joycey, sign off.
I mean, listen, no, but she's right. I mean, I'm pretty sure the reason why it's called low rule is because it's the opposite of high. So
that's what happens when you come down. I'm sorry.
Beneath the depth.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
Listen.
Zach always makes me laugh. You notice I don't act crazy when Zach's not here.
No,
He just makes me laugh the whole time.
So I'm playing.
Stop looking at me, Zach.
I'm playing this game, right? And I discovered low rule, and I discovered the opposite of Princess Zelda, which is Hilda.
Matilda's a very good movie that did not need to be remade. Okay, sorry.
Did they remake it?
Yes, and they turned it into a musical. And and that was a moment that I'm like, nobody should ever have to see this.
Not cool. Not that's not.
Matilda, the original, is just peak.
So I'm just enjoying this. I'm like, is it bad that I'm more into Hilda than Zelda?
No, because there's actual good. The story in that one, in A Link Between Worlds, is actually, well, there's a lot of good stories that are good.
Yeah.
But the top-down games, in my opinion, have a little bit of a better story, because everything's more compact, so they got to entertain you for a certain amount of hours.
Yeah.
And that story, I understand Hilda.
Yeah, and so
I understand her.
yeah,
I kind of like her.
I'm playing this game right now. I'm enjoying it a lot. You know, I discovered Hilda and stuff like that. I'm still paused on this one in the woods. Is it the woods? The temple? The woods temple? That temple. So I'm still there. I'm probably gonna start at this time. I'll just start over again if it makes it to Switch. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Zelda, and of course, Ruffy and the Riverside. Ruffy and the Riverside. If you have not,
We're gonna go back to Zelda now, and so no, I'm kidding. You
So-
can't start talking about Zelda in front of me.
if you have not picked up Ruffy and the Riverside, my friends, it is incredible. If you have Steam, it's on Steam right now, the demo. And it's a combination between Mario 64, Banjo, and there's another one, Banjo Kazooie, Mario 64, and another one. But it's a really, really great platformer that you need to experience. It's really awesome. I think this game has the potential of being Indie Game of the Year, and I'm not just saying it because we debuted it last year in Indie Mania. We were the one who launched that trailer for Ruffy, and so you know, right, Paul? We got that. You can go like this.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Indie Mania is only going to be bigger this year. Good
yeah,
gosh,
it's
man.
crazy.
So much amazing stuff is going to.
And I also got myself a mouse. That you guys can you guys tell me what kind of mouse is this? What game is it for?
Ooh,
Star.
it looks Star Foxy to me. I
It
can't
looks
see
Star
the
Foxy.
symbols though. I can tell there's stuff there, but
Mhm.
they're kind of drawn out from the white, so it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Looks like
can't tell
Frieza.
either.
So nobody knows. Me neither.
I'm
I was
not sure.
asking if you guys knew because I didn't know myself. and the only reason I got is because it matched my keyboard.
Oh, that's a GameCube keyboard.
Yeah, by NYXY. You got the links down below in the description if you want to get it. Yes, they are a really good partner for the channel. So we got that going on. This is Star. What's that game from Microsoft?
Fields.
Starfield. Starfield.
Yeah, they had some really good merch when Starfield first came out, and like
Yeah.
even some people got like this case, and like the game came in it,
Mhm.
and it was like embedded into the case or whatever. And
Yeah.
then it had this extra stuff that came. It was like cool looking. I'm like, Nintendo would clean up so much if they would do real special editions like that. They would just it prints money, Nintendo.
It does. And I also, before we start the topics, I want to give huge shout out to Joycey last Friday. We were on our own last Friday. And we missed Paul, we missed Zach, and
And I
everything.
cut a fool last week.
And not only that, but Joycey was also sick. She was sick. Okay, she had a under the weather, but we had almost a little more than 300 people watching, and it went pretty well. We carried the podcast, and how many hours did we do? Like we did.
It was a long podcast. We had a good conversation. It was almost 3 hours.
It was a pretty
It was
good
a while.
3-hour podcast. So we did well. And segue to that, you guys notice that there's one of our family members here is missing. Unfortunately, Lily Hyrule, just wanted to put this out there officially. Lily Hyrule, our special friend, she will no longer be on the podcast with us due to personal reasons. Right, she had to step away. Mental health, and personal reasons. She stepped away. And so we love you, Lily. We wish we will miss you. If you ever want to come back, she's always welcome. And so yeah, just to put that out there. Another thing that I wanted to make sure that everybody knew, the post that we made on X looking for a new podcast host is completely unrelated to Lily. Okay, that one went out first, and then we found out about Lily afterwards. So the new co-host search is on hold for now. Okay, because we don't want to replace Lily. That's not what we were trying to do. Replace Lily. We were just trying to find a new host to come along with us, to join us in the Nintopics Podcast. That will eventually happen, right? We will finally have either more guests over or maybe another host. Who knows, right? But just to let you know, we were not that co-host part is on hold right now because we don't want to feel like we're replacing Lily. We want to give some time, to gel and to get things in order. But we wish Lily all the best. And yeah, anybody else want to add to it?
I told her not to leave me, and she said she had to. And
Yeah.
I'm sad.
But hopefully it's for
We still talk to her, guys. It's just that she's not going to be on the cast or anything.
Hopefully it's for good. Hopefully it's for good and for her own good, and that whatever she needs to resolve and get straight, she does, right? So we wish her all the best, and like that. Nintendo.
Oh, sorry.
Say again.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, remember, guys, your own mental well-being is always more important than any hobbies or even work sometimes, and so just do whatever you can, not just to make sure you're okay, but to make sure you're thriving.
Yeah.
Because life's too short not to thrive.
Yeah. And I see a lot of people in the back say, bring Nintendo Land back, bring Andre Restart, bring Nintendo Prime. I want to bring all of those. So let's see, we can schedule them in the week, and they can each come over as a guest, and that way we can have them as well on the cast. So yeah.
And also our friends, in the regular YouTube space, Andres, Nate, all them.
Mm-hmm.
They want to schedule some time to come hang out with the best crew. They are always more than welcome. Those are our friends. Lily too. So even if she doesn't want to come back as a co-host, she'll always be welcome as a guest.
Of course.
Whenever she wants to come.
Yeah, anytime. If you listen to Lily, we love you. Anytime you want to come back as a co-host, as a guest, you can. Especially for new Zelda games and stuff. Birdman, he's in the chat somewhere. My buddy the Bird, he wants to come back come on as a guest as well. Also free too. We're also getting I already talked to Thunderstash behind the scenes. He's coming up on one of these days. As one of our guests. So yeah, we're gonna keep the podcast going with all the positivity, all the love that we've had. And yeah. So who's ready to talk about video games?
Oh, you guys like video games?
Big fan.
Big fan of video
games. We should totally talk about that.
All right.
I'm just saying. Just a suggestion. Or do you guys want to talk about insurance?
Umbrellas?
Yeah,
all
we can talk about umbrellas.
All right. So real quick in the rapid fire news, I wanted to bring up a couple of things that were happening inside the world of gaming. Nintendo opens up a new headquarters in Taiwan. Who can tell me what is the abbreviation of their headquarters?
What is what?
The abbreviation of Nintendo's new headquarters in Taiwan.
Something TO or something like
that.
Not. Yes, not.
It's T.
Nintendo of Taiwan. So it's not. So congratulations to Not for for their new headquarters, and that means that Nintendo's opening business. They're expanding instead of firing people. They are hiring people. Mm-hmm. Learn developers. So yeah, Nintendo of Taiwan is a brand new branch of the tree, and so yeah, we're gonna hire some birds there. Nintendo Switch OLED bundle was announced with Mario Wonder. All right, and so that
thank God.
Yeah, a lot of people are speculating because it's too good of a deal. $349 for the OLED model, right? Has a new game, has 3 months of NSO. And so is that Nintendo's price drop strategy? Just bundling games with their old systems and just keep them at the same price? That's a good strategy. You take away total about $70, $80 and NSO 3 months, and of course the game. That's a good deal. Before that, we got some business to take care of here. Wait. Before that one, got some business to take care of right here.
Oh, I missed that one. That's my fault.
Bill Minnie, the unofficial fifth member of the podcast, just gifted membership today. Thank you so much, Boo, for your amazing, unwavering support to our podcast. Mm-hmm. We love you. And then who claimed the member? Who claimed the member? Who is the new member? The member. Welcome to whomever claimed the new membership for Boomini. you are the newest member. That was Netweed09. Welcome, Netweed09, to the Odyssey. Hope you enjoy all the little goodies that are allowed and all that stuff. And then, of course, we got another super chat here from the Demonic Brawler. Okay, y'all win. I will make a channel and become a YouTuber if you all have me on. Yeah, I can do that. I'll have the. Well, you have to have the crypt on because, yeah, the crypt is an icon. You guys see the little icon from the Demonic Brawler?
Man, I used to be able to hit that high note. The Crypt Keeper would
Yeah,
have whenever he would laugh. That
Yeah.
I can't get that high no more.
That's
I can't get
exactly
that
what
high
you
anymore.
do when something cracks you up, Joycey.
right.
You turn to that Crypt Keeper
The
mouse.
Crypt
That's horrible.
Okay, so Zach, say something funny.
Oh, I can't do it on command.
Night on the spot.
Yeah, it'll come later.
Yeah, so okay. Yeah, but I don't sound like that good. I sound like I'm cackling. He has like a high-pitched cackle that's also haunting. There's quality in the cackling here. Mine has no quality. I'm just here to because I just laugh like that.
yeah,
Quality of
Yeah.
the cackle.
yeah.
These are the conversations we have.
So, my brother, if you want to come on as a guest, you are also invited. Welcome. All right, so we got here. That's it, right? That's all. That's for super chat. Okay,
Yes.
so back to the topics. We got Not was created. Nintendo OLED bundle, right? That has sparked some speculation about Nintendo's price drop. Although I do still believe Nintendo will drop the price to Nintendo Switch base model and OLED after April 2nd. I think that's happening. I don't think it's happening yet. And then Nintendo's kind of pushing out those systems. Guess what? 10 million more to go, baby. And we're gonna break PlayStation's record that came out of the blue.
Paul, is that happening in 2025?
It's happening. 10 million.
Before March 31st, 2026, Nintendo Switch will pass 160. It
Yeah.
might happen by the end of this year, but not a guarantee. It definitely could.
Yeah, yeah.
If they continue to make the quantity needed and don't slow down their production too much, or potentially slow down the production because they need more manufacturing lines open to satisfy Nintendo Switch 2 demand, how do they allocate their warehouses and their companies that are partnered up with them to just make stock available and print things? It could happen by the end of this year, because I could see a price drop happening eventually. One thought process has been, sell out of the OLED models so they're no longer on the market. So then you only have Nintendo Switch Lite, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. So there's a bigger price difference between Nintendo Switch 2 and the base Switch. And you take out OLED because OLED potentially looks better in terms of clarity due to its screen, although not in terms of not being a 1080p screen, and smaller. But since it has one component better than Switch 2, maybe you don't want to have that rivaling it. But then again, the Switch OLED model is the best-selling SKU every month worldwide. So why would you want to take that one out? So I think it's just a clever way to keep sales going on strong in the fiscal quarter to make their goals of reaching that 1.95 or whatever they return their forecast to, so that they continue selling and pump out their best model and make it that much more attractive.
And
That's a lot,
but the thing is, we have yet to receive confirmation on what type of LCD screen they are using, right? And so we'll find out on April 2nd. Maybe they're using of course they have of course whatever screen we get is going to be better than the base model of the Nintendo Switch, right? It's going to be a higher a better model, more up to date model, maybe IPS, and so mini LED. There's a whole bunch of things that it could be using that we don't know just yet. We'll find out in April. All we know is that it's a bigger screen, and better for tabletop mode and all that stuff. But Paul makes good points, and yes, we will get to that 160.
It's happening.
We will pass it too.
It only won't happen if Nintendo doesn't want it to happen. Like if they're like, we're stopping sales to have nothing on there, but if they're gonna make them, they're gonna sell.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, release date debate was happening over the past couple of weeks, right? Between May 3rd and May 23rd. And I don't know whether we talked about this last week, Joycey. The shorter release window for Nintendo, having their presentation on April 3rd and just only a month later releasing the system.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, which kind of goes in line with how Apple releases their products. They announce it to 2 weeks later. Oh, the following week is a pre-order, and then the following week is the release. That works wonders for Apple, and I think it'll work wonders for Nintendo since we're getting a Nintendo Switch too, right? With the backward. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I wanted to also throw this in.
Yeah.
Just because I saw some conversations, like not here, but online and everything. Because I had said this before. I said, well, it's obviously going to be at the earliest May because that's when the hands-on demos are still going to be happening in April. But somebody reminded me, they were like, no, actually, when Switch 1 came out, there were still hands-on demos happening and it was still out on the market. And I'm like, oh.
But
your theory makes sense.
But there's a caveat to that because in the places where the demos were happening, the Switch wasn't out yet.
That's what the caveat is. Okay.
Yeah. And these it's I had a list of where the things were happening, but everywhere, every English speaking country this is the way the easiest way to see it. The system will be out in all English speaking countries on the same day, right? Every other country with a different language has a different release date, like Brazil. I know China has a different release date. Let's see here. Nintendo Switch 2 hands-on experience day. They just announced another one just recently the other day. And so for example, North America, we got the hands-on experiences are happening in New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Toronto, Paris, London, Milan, Berlin, okay, in April, and then in Madrid, España, and Amsterdam, and then they also added another place. Tokyo. They also, I think it was Tokyo. But Tokyo is going to be also in April. But Amsterdam and Madrid, then they were going to be in May. And if you look back, the launches for the systems for those countries were like in December compared to the March launch for Nintendo Switch. They were later on in the year, so that makes sense for them to have an experience later on in the year as well.
Real quick, Mike, I'm really sorry to cut you off, but one of us has to leave, and I want him to be able to say whatever he wants to say.
Yes,
because he's screaming in our private chat.
It stinks because sometimes just other things are happening at the same time, and we're just about to get good. I mean, it's already good; it's just about to get better. So, if my other appointment could go by fast and smoothly, I'll hop back in later on.
Yep.
At the very least, I'll be in the chat. But good seeing you all. I'll try to come back on later if I can. But yeah, keep the discussion fun. Look.
I'm with Pokemon Fan 33.
I'm gonna cry now.
I'm gonna make Paul feel bad for that. Look, Paul, feel horrible. Here, Paul.
I was like, I gotta go in 7 minutes. Oh, let me push it another 2. Let me push it another 5. Let me push it another couple. And like now it's like, now I'm not gonna be able to drive there on time. So,
but Paul, Mike's playing a link between worlds, and we have to talk about it. Who's gonna help me talk about it if you're not here?
Look at that.
You need to say something about
I wore my Zelda shirt today for Zelda's anniversary. Today's the 39th anniversary.
40 days until the Switch 2 Direct, and you just gonna leave us out here by ourselves?
Come on, chat. Make Paul feel even worse. Come on.
If it makes you feel better, I leave you with. You know what? I'm just gonna leave you with Peach, and I'm gonna go. And Peach could be the 4th host.
Oh, that works.
If she was trained well enough to just stay sitting on the chair, looking at the camera,
that'd be amazing.
All right, Paul.
Bye,
love you, Paul.
Drive safe, and if you can make it back, be awesome. If not, then still.
Alrighty. Bye,
All right,
Much
Paul.
love.
But we'll shout
Sorry,
out
Mike,
Paul.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries. We'll shout out Paul at the end of the podcast again. So,
Mhm.
all right.
Him
So,
and Mrs. Gale Network have things to do.
yeah, Mrs. Gill Network is the boss.
He's in his network.
The
He
boss.
got his own network.
She the boss.
That's legally his name.
so-
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
We're
not.
cracking. We're just cracking jokes on Paul.
Presentation, blah blah blah. Switch OLED, blah blah blah. We did that already. Okay, so Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, so the big question is, there's a lot going on with Nintendo Switch 2. That was the rapid fire thing that I wanted to get out of the way. So you guys are aware, if you're looking for a Switch, don't get one now. It's too late for that. Wait, unless you really want to Switch, you care less about Switch 2, you're a late buyer, then okay, go get one. But I would wait for the price drop. But if you are getting a Switch 2 now, and you have one, and you're planning on getting another one, don't just wait for Switch 2. So topic number 1, Nintendo Switch 2 sooner than we think.
I was going to say something real quick about Switch.
Yeah, go ahead.
Zach hasn't said anything yet. Even though we haven't beaten PlayStation 2 sales, I'm still gonna call this a win, because whether we like it or not, or well, not us, but whether there's somebody out there who likes it or not, Nintendo made it to market leader this gen. That's saying something. And you're in competition with the PlayStation 2. That says something. So I think even if we don't get to 160 million or over, I'm sorry, this is a W generation for Nintendo. I know it's a winner for me. So
I agree with Pokemon 3 Fan 33. When Switch comes out 160, then they go, oh, well, we found 10 million more. 70.
I don't think they're lying.
I'm not gonna put it past them. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna put it past them. All right. So there are a couple of things that happened this past week that could point to Nintendo Switch moving, or the Nintendo Switch being launched sooner than we think. Okay. Nintendo has really put not the brakes, but hit the gas this past week. Things that they normally don't discontinue until the following system is out, they've discontinued. And the big question is, why did they discontinue these certain perks when the system is not yet out, right? And we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. Those are the couple of things right now. As we know, we have 2 confirmations this past week. 1, vouchers will not work on Switch 2 games. What? I said vouchers will not work on Switch 2 games. This does not mean that it doesn't mean that Switch games are going to be at $70 like a lot of people are just crying out there. Nintendo already said they got tiers, not of the kingdom, but tiers of levels, of places,
there's levels to this.
Of prices, right? They got tiers. There are some games that are going to be $50. There are some games that are going to be $60, and they're going to be games that they're going to be $70. So games like Tears of the Kingdom, that size and up, $70. Games like, let's say, Echoes of Wisdom, those line of games like that, $50. Any lower game, I would say the Kirby's, maybe anything lower than that, right? In the Nintendo realm of games, Wario, I still can't say Wario since the 80s. I cannot say Wario.
You said it.
I said it.
Yeah,
Wario. Wario.
Okay. Just
Okay.
like when you teach me Spanish and I don't understand anything. So we're gonna do it like this. So it's
Rio.
Rio. Okay, think of Rio.
Rio.
Don't you want to go to Rio de Janeiro for Carnival?
Rio from another game.
Okay. Rio.
Rio.
Do you know where Rio de Janeiro is? De Janeiro.
Yeah.
Deja.
Rio.
Okay, so Rio. Wario. Close enough. Go for it.
You gotta reverse it, Joycey. War. Like when two countries are fighting, they're at
That's
war.
War.
You know, old, wait, no, I got this, Joyce. You know, old McDonald and the E-I-E-I-O?
Had a we-o.
Yeah. So we just go war, E-O.
So it's a war, we-o?
War. You're saying war, we-o. Just E.
Anyway, Wario is a game that will stay in that lower price range, right? There won't be any price hikes unless it's a mega game that Nintendo puts a lot of development time in there and spends a lot of money in it, right? And so that's what we're gonna get when it comes to price thingies, right? The reason why I can tell you right away, the reason why these vouchers are not gonna work on the eShop on Switch 2 is because it's a different eShop. We're getting a different store. A lot of the stuff are not gonna be. It's like no compatible anymore, right? The gold coins are not going to be on the new eShop, and the flappy thingies, the little tickets, the vouchers. They're not going to be on the eShop on the new eShop as well. It's just
New eShop confirmed.
Yes, new eShop
so.
confirmed. And so, I've seen so many people just like not people, a lot of content creators saying, "My God, bad news! Nintendo doesn't love us." I was like, don't be so melodramatic. We're just getting
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just getting a new eShop with new perks, and I think that those new perks are going to be even better than the ones we have, right?
I don't think that. And then my next question is: are people using the gold points to to their standard? And what I mean by that is, because in my personal opinion, Nintendo. Everything ought to be on one app or somewhere in my Switch that I can immediately get to.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of those points, thankfully, if I do buy a game online, which is rare, but I do, then it does automatically apply. But what if I want merch? No, you got to go to your phone or to your computer and go to the Nintendo store and log in with your account and then use your points if you want like merch or something else from their store.
You can? You can use gold points on merch?
I thought I could. I haven't bought anything because I don't like their merch because I know they can do better. Yeah, Nintendo, I said it.
I want to go use my merch. I've used all my gold points on video games. Normally, I have indie games like smaller games that are like $3 and $2 because I can just buy them and not owe anything after that. And
they'll provide discounts on the big games because even when you do buy physical, it does your system does kick on and say, okay, you got how many gold points from this game. So those do work. But if you want to like actually go out on the store or something like that and use your points and everything, I'm like, why do I have to? So I forget that they're there. Yeah. So I'm wondering if the plan wasn't was for, okay, we want people to save money on their games and buy games using their points, and then they can also go to our store and do this. And I just kind of feel like they always kind of hid it in a way. Yeah. So I would like something on, and I know this was not your entire point, but I'm just saying, what I would like is on our next eShop, some little Mario hitting a block, and it's like you have this many points, go or whatever the new system's going to be. Yeah. You have this. You can get all these items, all this merch for this for these points, or you can get this game, or you can save this kind of money on this game. It should just be there. I should be able to click into my Switch or click an app on my phone and it's all there. I don't want to go to all these different places. Old lady rants over.
Mm-hmm. And
because that's old lady stuff.
and so when it comes to the coins and when it comes to the merch, is that Nintendo is not right now the coins are not gonna work anymore in March. So make sure you use all your coins. They're good for taking a couple bucks off your games. The most I've had taken off was $10. Was that was Tears of the Kingdom, just because I didn't really use my coins all to the point. I had like 10,000 gold coins, and so I had $10 off for Tears of the Kingdom. But it's just a new, different thing we're gonna have on Switch 2, the eShop. We're gonna have a new method there. Let's say the vouchers are meant for games that are $60, right? But now, since now we're gonna have a new tier where maybe more games are a little more expensive, right? Let's say the new tier for games is $64 instead of $59, couple bucks more. Maybe they'll have a different type of voucher on Switch too. But in all, I personally believe the only reason why we're not using neither the vouchers or the coins is because there's a new, completely different system. Nintendo knows that we've been wanting a new eShop for the longest.
And real quick, shout out to Jay in the chat, Jay Biggs. He corrected me. It's the platinum points you can use like at the for actual merch. But the thing about it is that I'm like, yeah, but then I gotta go in something else. Why is this just not fair?
Yeah.
So when you buy a game, if I buy a game.
Yeah.
So Nintendo should hopefully notice by now, okay, she's mostly a physical user. Okay, unless there's a game that I can't obtain physically. Then like the gold points are there to just it'll just deduct off of whatever the total is. But what if I wanted something else? You see what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, do gold points buy you anything else? Or is it just savings on games?
Yeah, savings on games. Savings on games.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe that's what was throwing me off. And I'm like, because I thought you needed something different. Okay. Yeah. So they're going to replace it. Everybody is being melodramatic. They're going to replace it with something.
Yeah, they are. They're coming up with a brand new system. What do you think, Zach? What do you see?
Oh, sure thing.
Yeah,
I agree. I think you hit the nail 100% on the head, especially because what people don't realize, like, we go so far digging and trying to find this little tidbit that nobody's found that, like, sometimes we overcomplicate things and we get dramatic with it, where, like, companies will tell you what they want. Like, Nintendo doesn't want you to buy physical games. They want you to buy digital. That's why you get, like, 1,000,000 gold points for a digital game.
Yeah.
But if you buy the same game physical, you get, like, a tenth of it. Or not even a tenth. I think it's really... the difference is huge. And so, like, clearly Nintendo's telling us they care about digital sales. So, by incentivizing us to get digital if we want more gold points. So... if they're trying to incentivize us for digital, it doesn't make sense for them to permanently get rid of the voucher system. It's just because it's going to be, like you said, a new eShop. And someone in the chat, I don't know who, someone in the chat made a good point too, that they might be using it as an excuse to wait before they relaunch the new voucher system. So that way it forces people to buy new games at full price when the console first launches.
The voucher wasn't around for the first couple of years of Nintendo eShop, so it wasn't around. Voucher wasn't around. The coins took a bit to even kick in also. So I mean, maybe they're just getting rid of something here and then starting something new. Maybe not the first year, maybe the second year, or maybe throughout. NSO wasn't even part of it at the beginning of the Nintendo Switch, right? There was no NSO. And so, at least for Nintendo, we know that NSO is moving forward, right? NSO is part of the next system, including all your games, all your purchases, all your saved data, all that stuff is moving forward with you to your Nintendo Switch 2. And so, gold coins and vouchers are the one thing that they are discontinuing. I don't know about the vouchers. I think they just said that it will work on Switch 2, not that they're discontinuing it. But the coins are the gold coins. Did they say silver? I don't think I heard silver, because silver is mostly for online. Like you can buy with the silver coins, you can actually get some real life merch, like the coins that the Paul just showed us. You just have to pay the $5 shipping for it, and then you get it. But that is basically it when it comes to those gold coins being taken off the eShop. They're just moving on to something better, something new, and that can also point to a shorter release window. The fact that they're doing it so fast now, meaning the eShop is ready to go. Like the new system that they have going on, the new eShop for the new system is ready to go. Guys, we're only 40 days away from April 2nd. 40 days, a month and 10 days. 1 month and 10 days away from the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. That's like nothing. That flies by. It's February 21, right? They revealed the system on February 16th, right? February 16th?
Yeah, I think so.
So,
or
I mean...
January.
It was January?
Oh, wait, do you mean the Switch
January
1?
16th. Switch 2.
Okay, yeah, January 16th.
So it's already been a month.
That's
It's already been a month.
crazy.
It's crazy.
That flew by. Holy cow!
It's already been a month. So imagine how faster this month and 10 days is going to go by. And when you come to think about it, Switch 2 is right there. And I'm convinced that the release window from the presentation to the release date is going to take a lot of people by surprise. It's going to be super fast. It's going to be people are going to hype. It is tax season. People are gonna enjoy, that little savings they get for tax season to buy the Switch 2. Nintendo's not gonna wait to June when people will spend it. Nintendo's gonna wait.
Y'all getting refunds?
Well, I was thinking about what you said earlier about the when Joycey brought up how she saw that the Switch 1 came out when they were still doing things, but then you brought up how the location that they were doing them wasn't available. In my head, I was just like, Texas is the last one, right? That we're doing here. Like, imagine it's like the Nintendo Switch is out everywhere besides Texas, so you can get the hands on. It's way sooner than you think, except for Texas. You guys are waiting until July. We don't want to spoil the hands-on.
Just because you could go buy it at stores, we still want you to come to Dallas, and we still want you to touch it at least. Okay? No, it'll be out early. And then Mike and we will just show up at the hands-on experience with our own Switch 2s. Like, no, we just came for the environment, for the vibes. But we already have
here for the vibes.
Yeah, we were already on the list, so we're just here for the vibes, and that's about it. That'd be awesome.
That's it. Yeah.
How soon do you think we can see it, Mike?
I think it'll be. I'm gonna go out on the limb and say March 3rd, May 3rd, like right a month away from the. I think that they'll do the pre-order about a week after not right on the spot. People will go nuts. But a week after, so people have some time to prepare, and then they'll say, okay, and release date will be on this day, which is not too far ahead.
I completely disagree, lovingly and respectfully.
Yeah, I agree.
Younger nephew. I think it's just on that point, real quick. I kind of think that they're going to do a thing where it's just literally all systems go, and it's gonna they're just gonna literally drop it, because the warning was January. That was the warning. You officially need to get your money together for some point this year.
Oh, you mean
that was the warning?
You mean you disagree on the pre-order time?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because because I'm more on board with some of the stuff you said last week, and some of the stuff that other creators have said. They're like, you compared it to Apple, which makes sense. Yeah. Because Nintendo, it kind of is the Apple of the gaming community. Yeah. If you think about it. So it would make sense if they're like, here's the new thing. Shut up. That's what January was. Here's the new thing. Now shut up. Okay. Now we're going to do Pokemon Presents for sure. That we know for sure. There could be a direct, could not. We don't know yet. Then March is where they're going to go quiet. I don't think we're going to get much of anything except for a few small drops, our indies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then the hands-on stuff is going to start taking place at the beginning of April. And then at some point, while we're all like, yeah, we're going to Dallas, we're going to go touch the Switch 2, Nintendo's going to come out and say, by the way, pre-orders drop, April 5th. Or something like that, but I think it's going to be a little bit after the direct. Cause I think the direct, they're going to say, oh, pre-orders are going to go up at this time. And, stay tuned for that. And then we wait for that. And then it's going to be like real quick. I think like that. So you convinced me of that. Yeah.
So it's mostly what Mike just said that you strongly disagreed with.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I got a lot. There's a lot going on. Sorry.
I agree. I strongly disagree. Let me tell you why. Makes every single point that he just made.
Yeah, and I'm here like waiting, like I'm waiting for the part.
I saw the moment Mike had the realization of like, oh wait, I think she agrees. I saw like the waiting stop. It was like, oh, we're on the same page.
I think I heard you wrong. I'm so sorry, Mike. I didn't do it.
You're fine. Shout out to the Molly Brawler. Well, Switch 2 owners have to wait for a new Animal Crossing game since you can't move your island to another system? Oh, you
Yep.
can. You can.
Since
You
when?
can. You can move your island to the Switch 2. You can, because it's the same kind of software. They'll probably have a new app on the Nintendo Switch 2 that will allow you to move your island just like they do on the Switch 1. Remember, the games are backwards compatible. Like the full game, Animal Crossing, your save data is backwards compatible. I'm pretty sure that on April 2nd, they'll probably explain to us how that's going to be possible. But every game with their save data is compatible with Switch 2. I'm guessing minus the games that have, and I can't even say this word also, peripherals? Peripherals? Is it peripherals?
I knew how to say it until you did.
Peripheral.
Peripheral.
Peripherals?
Peripheral.
Peripherals.
Peripheral. That is your side vision.
Xanthemums.
Peripheral. I know it sounds like a really cool car, but it's not.
Raptors.
I was rolling in my peripheral the other day, y'all.
So
Sounds like a car.
So basically, games like that have the box. What do you call that box? Amiibox. Amiibox. What was the name of the box again? The box stuff. The
What box? Oh, Labo.
Yeah, Amiibox.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm like,
The cardboard.
Amiibox.
am I hearing this wrong too? Because I strongly disagree with the fact that that there's a box involved.
I mean, that's a better name, Amiibox. Amiibox. Come on, that's like a beatbox. So
Actually, that should be the new thing. It's Amiibo. You can load up all these different Amiibos with whatever you want. You get 5 slots of different things, of different whatever.
So yeah, I'm guessing those games that require things from Switch 1, on Switch 2, it's like a very minor thing,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but any game that has Dave's save data instead of Dave's save data
In their peripheral.
Dave's data can move forward to Nintendo Switch. But I'm pretty sure they'll have that app that will help you do that.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It'll just, because when I was like, at first I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Then as you start talking, I'm like, oh, that's right, because our island is not only connected to the game, it's connected to your Nintendo account. So that would move over, because I think what Nintendo wants us to do is move our entire account over. So all of our purchases, our history, everything comes over.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's basically like when you get a new Switch, you make it your new home Switch.
Yeah.
And like on your account. That would basically, without knowing how their UI works, that's essentially what we're assuming will happen, is just like how you move your stuff to your new home Switch when you go from a regular Switch to an OLED. The Switch 2 will be your new home Switch.
Yeah. Trust me, if Animal Crossing has any issues transferring, I'm gonna riot.
Yeah, a few dozen million people will.
I will start a new island, but not happy. Okay, I will go on a hunger strike on my new island, and then
we'll just ask them when we're at the thing, Mike, and if we have to, we'll take Doug hostage.
Yeah, there you go.
Nicely though, we'll feed him and stuff. But
We will take him to IHOP, and then we'll not pay for it. Okay,
that's right. We're gonna take him to IHOP for a short stack, and we're gonna let him know you gotta pay this bill if you don't make sure that we can move our dang on island.
And I ain't gonna ask for a side plate of fries, and not.
That's right, and he gotta pay it.
So
it's the perfect plan.
When Joycey was talking about Amiibox earlier,
that was
I had an epiphany of a missed opportunity that Nintendo missed. That's usually how missed opportunities work.
That was me. I came up with the Amiibox.
Or when Mike came up with the Amiibox earlier. I feel like Amiibos should have had their own dedicated, like, this, Isabel's kind of like Animal Crossing's, like, dedicated, like, spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been a Mario Amiibo, and it would be like, but it's like a very specific Mario Amiibo. Like, it is the main Amiibo. And it would come on, and he would be like, "It's a me! Amiibo," and then like
I love that.
That would be the play on words,
or just the fact that just because we have Amiibo, I think it would be fun to have a sprite of Mario living on your island. he could even have his own home or something like that. I don't know how that would work in the game or if it even makes sense. And also, not everything has to be crossover. But the fact that I could scan an amiibo and have Mario come live on my island, come on now, y'all. That's kind of low key fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
I mean, Animal Crossing already has like a whole bunch of Mario stuff, like the outfits, the pipes, the coins, the stars.
You can also
I just meant
stuff.
amiibos in general.
Wow.
Like not for Animal Crossing. I was saying just
Oh yeah,
So-
the
I could be
spokesperson
playing-
of amiibos should have been Mario Amiibo.
Amiibo. So you know what? So I could be playing Zelda, Cyberpunk 2048 or whatever the next Zelda's going to be, and scan my Mario amiibo, and it's amiibo or whatever. What would that do in a Zelda game then?
I nothing. I just meant like whenever they're announcing a new amiibo, like it was just like
I wanted to go with that
really
idea.
far into this, just like when they
I
announced
wanted to
that,
go into that.
when Switch 2 when they announce amiibo compatibility. Because wait, have they announced it or do we just know?
No.
Okay.
We just assume.
when they announce amiibo compatibility, the Mario amiibo would come up and be like, "It's amiibo," because he's already saying it's amiibo. Amiibo.
I like that.
It's amiibo.
I still like that.
Yeah.
I like it.
It didn't land. It's okay.
Unless Mario has a little friend whose name is Bo.
Why you gotta be Bo?
Because
That
that's
ain't
at the
cute.
end of amiibo.
I mean, my friend Bo. Amiibo.
No, we call him Meebo.
So what if Bo is asking, "Who are you?" Mario's like, "It's Amiibo."
That would work.
This podcast has not actually been on the rails at all for us to go off the rails. So we're just flying by the seat of our pants.
Amiibos will also be compatible with Switch 2. That's how we put it back in the wheel.
It better be.
It will. All right, so we have covered. We know that the coins are going away. No big deal. The little voucher thingy is not working on Switch 2. It'll continue to work on Switch 1. Release date from the presentation, short window. Another thing that has been picking up steam over the past couple of days. It's something that I've been bringing up every single time I have preached on top of the mountains, and I said, "Hey, this is happening." Every time I bring up a patent, okay, years ago, a patent, and I say, "Look, this is happening, and this is going to happen, and this happens." People are like, "Patents aren't real. This is not going to happen because blah 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 blah." And all of a sudden, a year later, "Oh, this is going to happen. This is so exciting." I'm like, "Did you say that's not going to happen? Were you dissing me because I said this and this and that?" Right? What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about this. What am I rambling about? I'm rambling about this.
Dos pantallas estilo DS y cámara incorporada.
Okay, that's Spanish. But
Just translate for us like you do for me all the time.
I'm rambling about this right here. This,
I'm not gonna lie, that looks sick. That looks sick.
I'm telling you. And the reason why Nintendo, wait, I can't pause it from there. Where's my pause thingy? Pause. Okay, here. Look. Okay, that's not even that. Right here. Look, watch this. Watch. This is a Nintendo Switch. This is it. Watch. Flip. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The first patent. I said that. I'm guessing the guy who said this, who made this illustration, saw my video. Then the following day, this popped up. Flip. Why do you flip it? Because on the top there is a USB port on the top. What kind of USB port is this? It's a display out port. It's a display out port that you put on the dock so it can display out to your TV. That's why the flippity thingy is there. So Nintendo can then, right in the center, use that display out port to display this baby right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm talking about, my friends. That looks really cool. That looks very awesome.
It does. I think we're gonna get it. Just like you, I've been preaching this for the better part of a year now on here. But there is one thing I don't think it's going. Which I think we're getting the second screen. I know people are loving this demo. I don't think it's going to clip on and have the hinges, though. I think it'll just clip on. because that's just
because
such
Nintendo.
like, you see how it's like clamshelling open and closed? Like, I don't think that you'll be able to articulate
But
it
the
that
patent,
much.
well, the patent actually showed it doing that.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, the patent actually showed how you can close it and it'll become like a little clamp. This is a combination of 3 patents. Oh my god!
It explains that rumor of it
I
being
still
called
got-
it explains that rumor of it being called the Nintendo Flip. And then there was a Nintendo Flip rumor, and then there's a Nintendo Attach.
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the cool thing
I
about
like
this, hopefully they make both screens the same size, right? Actually maybe this was a 7 inch, this was an 8 inch, and but still kind of around that thing. And also, if you look at the Nintendo on the Nintendo 3DS and on Nintendo DS, which part of the screen is touchscreen and which part is not? Are they both touchscreen or only the bottom part?
I know for a fact the bottom is, but I actually didn't play too many DS games.
Yeah. You guys can tell me in the chat if the bottom and the top are touchscreen or just the bottom screen.
I would think the bottom would only be the touchscreen. I didn't play a lot of DS, but I played 3DS. I still have my 3DS. So a lot of things, in the chat's saying it too. There's things on the bottom screen because usually what the bottom screen, and I'm thinking of Zelda specifically, is, well, there's Link Between Worlds. There's stuff when you're, I don't know how far you are, so I don't want to spoil it. But certain things you're trying to collect and everything like that. If you want to switch your weapon super quick, you don't ever have to lose your on the screen. Your game on the screen. You only have to pick up. You could just see what's on the bottom of the pad and keep going. I can't talk.
Yeah, I actually have a bigger screen on this side that I use as my second screen for that right here. Like right here, I have a horizontal screen, and that's what I use for my menu for the 3DS. And then this is the one screen, and that's the other screen here. And
somebody made a good point in the chat. They were like, it could help make the top screen lighter without the touch technology.
Exactly.
You don't want to make the unit top heavy. That's perfectly good point. The Infinite.
It's only a display out port that the system recognizes as a second screen for those games that require a second screen. Nintendo DS, 3DS, and some Wii U titles, right?
That was my next point. Was people keep talking about 3DS, but we're forgetting about Wii U functionality.
Yeah. So again, this is something that I've been saying that this is Nintendo could really do this, and I can see that being like an extra $100 addition to it, as in an accessory you buy for it. Do you need it? No. Would it be cool to have? Yeah, because this is part of your experience. That's what Nintendo's all about, giving you the experience that you had back in the day. And then one thing that could come along with this for those newer games is some type of virtual console, because 3DS is too new to be on NSO right now. And so before 3DS comes out, there's other systems that should be on NSO than 3DS. But Nintendo can sell 3DS games on the eShop, and you can use this screen here for
or we getting 3DS, DS, all those games online. Because dear Nintendo, don't make us buy 3DS games all over again, bro.
Yeah. Nintendo will
throw them on NSO. I don't mind paying a little bit extra for the yearly service, but do not make me buy Ocarina of Time 3D and buy another screen on top of my Switch.
They
Either
will
remake the whole game or put it on NSO.
Shout out to Boo Mini for the $5 much. Give Zelda an Elden Ring art style, or do something cry like Zelda Cozy Horror. That'll be great.
Well, technically, Majora's Mask is cozy. I don't know how horror it is, but the moon is. Well, Mike's scared of the moon.
These would be good games to remaster and sell. I agree with Mike there, because we got to remember also, like, look how nice that screen looks.
That looks gorgeous.
3DS was I think the bottom screen was like 480 by 2. I know it's by 200. It's like less than 480, I think, technically. It's like 480 by 200, and then the top screen's like 7. I'm gonna just Google it. But yeah, it's like a 7. Let's just say let's just round up, say 800.
Uh-huh.
800 by 200. That's crazy. Like, that would be blurry on a screen that big, you know?
Yeah, and so you have, if they do the top just like the Nintendo Switch, the OLED size, then you have 720 up top, and then you have 1080 on the bottom. You know, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I don't know anything about technology to really speak intelligently to this, but I'm assuming it'll just look the same as it did on a 3DS. Like there's a thingy in the system that says this is a 3DS game, output this type of clarity or whatever, and then you go and put your brand new Mario Switch 2 game in, and it's gonna look like, you know, even better. So I feel like isn't that a thing? Is that a thing? It can output one thing.
It is a thing.
You got to remember the size matters, because if there's only a few pixels on a small screen, that's whatever. But you take that same amount of pixels and stretch it to a bigger screen, that's when it's getting blurry or blurrier.
Okay.
So they still could do it. I could see them, because a lot of the people who are saying no to the second screen rumors are arguing about battery life, because the biggest thing that drains a battery is the screen and the resolution. But if you cap for these handheld games, if it's meant for Wii U and it's meant for 3DS games and not for new games, if you cap that at 720 per screen, then you're actually not that much past a 1080 output total.
Oh, so no, I was thinking, can it, because there's something in the system say this is a 3DS game, this is a DS game, only need to output 320 or whatever the heck it was. But then when you put in your brand new Metroid Prime 4, it's going to come out in 20K or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I was just saying, to fill up the whole screen with those low resolution 3DS stuff, since it's bigger than a 3DS screen, would make it look worse than it does on the smaller
Okay,
screen.
so the issue is because the games were smaller.
Which they could do what they do with Nintendo Switch Online and just have the bars next to it. But
that's what I was thinking.
Who wants two screens? Who wants an extra screen when you're not even using the whole first one?
He got a point. And then that goes back to my argument of, we need all of our 3DS games just on NSO unless they're remaking them some way, somehow. If it's not going to get remade, throw it on NSO.
I think an upscale, like a upscale remaster and then a release on a virtual console type thing, would be, in my opinion, the most probable. But
because the thing about it is, if they're gonna, because I think what this patent is saying, if this turns out to be true, is that Nintendo fully has found a way to put those games on Switch 2 without sacrificing anything that we need for the Switch 2 actual exclusive games.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. And I was thinking the same thing, that they'll just have the black bars. Because if it's on NSO, like, no shade, but I like free stuff, or not free, but I don't like to pay even more extra. Y'all heard what I said before the podcast. Why am I turning down free stuff? So I kind of feel the same way. If there's a couple of black bars, because I understand that this was on an older system that did something a little bit different than this one. So I'm okay with the fact that it probably won't actually look as good as it did on a 3DS. Just like, in my opinion, the original Zelda doesn't look great if you play it on Switch and you play it on your big, nice 4K OLED TV. It actually looks better on that old school big boob tube we all used to have, and you would plug in the colored wire, and then it shows up there, because that game was meant for those type of TVs at the time.
Yeah.
Playing Zelda now, it almost makes me want to buy an NES. Those old games. So that's all I mean by that.
So I have good news for you.
As long as does it have money involved?
I'll break it down and non-technical ways. Okay. So one of the patents that I shared, I think it went a little viral on X. I'm sorry, it's with Twitter. Basically shared Nintendo's AI upscaling, and this is a type of upscaling that doesn't require the developer to do any extra work, because when the game goes in the system, it is read by the AI person, right? That AI person breaks the game in pieces and then generates clones from the little pixels there. Extra clones and more clones and more clones and more clones until it creates a high-end image, a better image, a higher resolution image. And that's what it shows you. It shows you a higher resolution image, even if the game was meant to run in 480p, it can run in 1020p because the images, the image is being rendered or generated in system, and more is added to it. So technically, the AI, like if you go to Grok on Twitter, or you go any generator from image generator, draw me a mountain with a chicken laying an egg. It's gonna draw you a mountain with a chicken laying an egg. It'll take samples from everywhere. It'll create an image and do that, right? That's what the AI is gonna do, but within the video game in real time, which is insane. That's what the patent
makes sense.
Yeah, so it'll automatically take any image, even on NSO. Even on NSO, we don't know whether it's gonna be applied on NSO because that's on in the cloud. But for games that you play on Nintendo Switch from for Nintendo, that's why I'm looking. One of the things I'm looking forward to the most is seeing this patent come to life with Nintendo Switch first gen games, like our current games on Switch 2. I want to see how much better these games play. Not only how much better they play, how much better they look on the new system. You know? So yeah, that's I hope Nintendo, the patent, I'm looking for the patent here in the channel on my X account. By the way, follow me on X if you like patents, because I dropped down everything there. On Twitter.
It's called Twitter.
Twitter.
It's always and forever will be Twitter.
Twitter.
Even the youngins don't call it X.
What?
Even the youngins don't call it X.
For real.
The young people.
Yeah, I mean, what do? You tweet? I think Elon was trying to do a zit. Like, what the heck is that? Too close to a zit.
I just don't think a social app should look like anything but a social app on my phone. My mother should not question, now what kind of app is this, young lady?
I agree.
Mama, it's Twitter. And she's like, no, this isn't. Yeah, I had to have that conversation.
It's Twitter.
She don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, at least when it comes to AI upscaling, that we can rest assured that that's something Nintendo has at least worked on. We don't know whether it's going to make it to the final product, but at least they know we're thinking about it. They tested it several times and stuff. Has that been on CapCut the entire time?
Yeah.
For a minute, yeah.
That's boring.
But that does make sense. As somebody else said in the chat that made a good point. Nintendo would have to be careful if that's going to be an accessory, or what if that's the full system and they didn't tell us that part. That's a possibility.
I would love it. The full system. I would pay $500 for the whole thing.
Oh, I'm going to buy whatever Nintendo hardware there is, because it's going to play Zelda. So whatever they charge, I will be paying it. But somebody made up a good point. Well, if when they close it, it's screen to screen, so it could potentially cause damage. And I forgot who said it in the chat, but thank you for saying that. But I think it would just be set up the same way a 3DS was, because if it's an extra screen that's meant to close, that means they've already prepared so it can't just touch screen to screen like that.
Yeah,
so I'm guessing it'll probably have like a little bump or something, or a space in the middle.
Even that this kind of design, which is not a Nintendo original thing, has that little gap between screens, so it's not really, it's not touching against. There's like a little rubber against the edges that rest.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
because laptops are kind of the same thing. Well, they're not screen to screen, but when you close it, you still don't want. I guess like where the mouse and everything, actually, how it's built into your laptop, you don't want your screen closing down on that either. And and technically our laptops don't close all the way.
Yeah.
So
the one thing that they made on this, I think, is because of maybe dramatic effect, is that they made the screen shut as fast as the Joy-Cons are attaching. So that's why it looks like it looks like it's gonna break. Look, watch. When it attaches there, and then the screen closes, it kind of hits pretty hard a little bit. So,
well, I mean, this is somebody was really nice enough to draw this, to just kind of put this together. This isn't official, so I'm not knocking off points for that. But it does make a lot of sense. Now we understand why there's a jack on the other side, or not the jack on the other side, or the charging on the other side.
I would say so that you have an extra port to charge, and also that the USB-C, the headphone jack is also towards the bottom, and it's not covered by that. So all your I/O is at the bottom, like your headphone jack, your game cartridge is also now at the bottom. So you can put your game on the bottom and take it out without taking out the screen. There's it frees up the entire part, the volume rockers, everything that's on the top. Now it's at the bottom, so it's all freed up for you to use when you're playing in this mode.
Yes, it's such a cool design.
It is, right?
If that really is the full design, that would also explain 2 SKUs.
Yeah.
As well. I don't think guys, I'm just talking. I don't think that's what it is. But that would, you know what? I think Nintendo would really go down in history if it's for real. Yeah, we showed you the Switch 2, but we didn't show you all of it. This is the whole thing. You can use it as a 3DS as well. It comes with this attachment for this ungodly amount of money. But for those who don't want to play 3DS games, or you don't think you're going to be interested or anything of that nature, here's the lower tier of Switch 2. Yep. Nintendo, you have not hired me. Another week and you have not hired me. I mean, I still got to come to the podcast, but every other time, any other day, I'm free. Just saying.
Yeah. So this is now picking up steam. I'm like, man, I've been talking about it forever. I shared the patent when it first came out. I mean, friends, I'm telling you, I sometimes don't know what I'm saying, but I say stuff. Let's go ahead and move forward to the next one. Anybody, any last thoughts on this before we move over to the?
I hope it's at least an option. That's my thought. I hope it's at least an option because that looks clean.
Right? It does. It does look really, really cool.
Yeah. So, only thing that I'm thinking is if it's not what that's for, there's no way that this port exists like just as another charging port. So like, what will they be using this thing for? There's so many options.
Peripherals.
Mm-hmm.
The vehicle, not your side view.
I believe that Nintendo Switch 2 will be very heavy, accessory heavy driven, very accessory heavy driven. Is that what you say?
Very heavily accessory driven.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what Zach said. That's what it's going to be. Very accessory driven heaven.
Nice.
So there. When that happens, we're gonna get not only the screen, we're gonna get maybe a camera, maybe other stuff. But I think that we're gonna find out more on April 2nd. Again, only 40 days away. Take away today, it's 39 days because only this day is almost over. And
it's going by fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be super awesome, super awesome. And next topic, real quick here. We're gonna go over this really, really fast, just in case, because if it happens, then guess what? This is the podcast before the show, so we need to go over it really quickly here, just in case. Just want to remind you guys that for the past couple of years, Nintendo has loved the February Direct, and they're missing the one from this year, which was a partner showcase. So 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. There it is. 24, right?
I think it could be the first year without one.
But then you have to think about this too. The earliest they have had a direct in February has been the 9th, right? The latest they have had direct has been 20, no, it's not 22. The 20, no, that's not. Is it 20? The 20th? Right?
8, the 21st.
The 21st?
Or wait. Yeah, the 21st. So the bottom. right one.
21st, right? And so they have had a direct towards the second part of February before, so we can't yet rule out a direct happening next week. And Nintendo completely blew out of the water the fact that we can't have two different types of directs at once when they gave us the Indie World and Partner Showcase in one presentation, a half and half Indie World Partner Showcase smack down together, right? So there's a possibility that we still get a Nintendo Direct next week.
Yo,
And on the 28th.
what if it comes
That would
like
be fire.
no? What would be hilarious is if they just did it like on March 3rd,
Wait.
which is the first business day in March. It's a Monday. It would just be hilarious, just so they could say, "Ha, we got you." No, no directed in February.
That's hilarious.
Joyce,
That's
you need to go to bed, y'all.
I mean, they can do that. They're Nintendo. They can do whatever they want. So I'm not the 28th, the 26th. I was looking at the wrong calendar. The 26th, which is Wednesday, and then the 27th for the Pokemon Presents. So we'll find out Monday or Tuesday. If Monday or Tuesday we hear nothing from Nintendo, then this will be the first February and since 2019, which was only 2 years after the Nintendo Switch came out, that we don't get a Nintendo Direct in February, which is crazy. Cupcake.
Crazy.
However, I'm gonna defend Nintendo on this one. Guys, we're officially in Switch 2 territory.
Yeah.
So even though it's tradition to have at least a Switch 1 Direct in February, which I'm definitely not saying it's not gonna happen. I'm down more games, but because we're in Switch 2 territory, and I was already flat out wrong of them saying, about how they were going to reveal Switch 2. I'm like, okay, we need to study new patterns, I think. And after this year, we'll probably have a better idea how the next 10 years are going to go.
Yep.
But I will say, I'm not going to be upset if we don't get a Switch 1 Direct. I'm really not.
What if
we know for a fact?
But what if that new pattern is April? Because we're getting that presentation in April.
Right. So that's Switch 2. That's the Switch 2 pattern. I'm trying to see if the Switch 1 pattern is still gonna hold up, because we don't know how long that Direct is gonna be. The April 2nd one, right?
Yeah.
We don't know that yet. I kind of wish they'd tell us. I know Nintendo doesn't like these really long, drawn out, whatever, but since they're revealing hardware and they're going to have to convince us on games, I'm thinking it's going to be an hour and a half presentation is what I'm thinking.
Sure.
Because they don't have to teach us how to use it, but they got to sell us and say, okay, this is why what the new thing is better than the old thing, kind of thing. So I would still expect to see even Switch 1 games there, but they are going to be playable also on Switch 2. Right? Yeah.
Listen, they better
that
not.
Makes sense. Was that coherent?
Makes perfect sense. But they better not pull another January 16 on us and just talk about the hardware and that's it. You know, I mean, because I can't rule it out.
That's the coldest mic drop we've had. Oh, put your chat back up there because we didn't look at it, and it said Zelda.
Yeah, Paper Moon says that Zelda is anniversary is today. The 39th anniversary from Zelda is today.
I am older than Zelda. That's why I'm a mama. But look, Nintendo will use an anniversary as an opportunity if they feel that they need to take said opportunity. So let's say the Zelda movie was coming out this year. We already knew that. They probably would have dropped something Zelda or said something Zelda today. Kind of how they did Mario Day. What was it, last year or the year before last? And we got like a movie update and we got a movie update. We got something else, Mario. They were little things, but it was still
Mario 35th, 3D All Stars Mario. They had Mario. Mario's the baby. They went all out with Mario.
Yeah, but Link makes them look mature.
Listen, the movie will be amazing if it came out next year, and Mario. Not Mario. at Zelda's 40th anniversary around the winter time, around November, December.
It don't Zelda don't feel like winter. Zelda feels like either spring or fall.
Oh,
mind you, Nintendo does not care about what I think in this
winter is coming.
instance.
Big movie releases are usually in December. Like really big. Like the Star Wars movies when the new ones came out, all of those were December. I think the Spider-Man movies have been December. Because I think Force Awakens was December 14th.
Sonic was in December too. All three Sonic movies, and they did well. So yeah, I mean next year will be awesome for Zelda movie. We have to hear something this year for Zelda because for sure we need to hear something from the Zelda movie this year.
Going to.
Yeah,
that's my big bet. That's my big bet for this year is that we're going to get some. I think this is going to be the year of Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Once Switch 2 really truly is about to land, we'll know for sure probably on April 2nd. But I think it's going to be a Mario year, and then that's why they're going to give us. That's why I personally don't believe we're going to get really anything Zelda gaming related. We'll probably get, if we don't get an announcement of a remake or a new game, definitely not a new game, a remake or something, or a spinoff dropping, then they're going to give us Zelda movie news, because again, I think it's going to be the year of Mario, because we got the Mario movie for sure coming out next year, right? In 2026.
Yep.
And then they're going to have a new 3D Mario they're going to have to sell everybody on. And not to mention, they're selling their now old system with Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a big Mario year. And they're like, well, our fans that love Zelda, because we kicked off the last gen with Zelda, rest assured, it's coming. Here's some movie news. Go here, take that and shut up. There's going to be a lot of take that and shut up moments from Furukawa.
Last year was a big Mario year. One of the biggest. It started out the year with Mario versus Donkey Kong, then Princess Peach Showtime, then Luigi's Mansion, then Super Mario Party Jamboree, then Mario and Luigi Brothership, and then Donkey Kong. That's a lot of Mario.
But Mike, you just said it yourself. Mario's the baby.
It is a baby.
So the baby can have more than 1 year, especially when the baby got a brand new game out. Because when Breath of the Wild was coming out, people like low key forgot about Mario. Okay, like we're getting a new system, we're getting new Zelda, it's great, and then they start talking about Mario Odyssey, which is one of the best Mario games like ever invented. I don't care what anybody says, and that's when it was like kind of switched over from it's a Zelda year to Mario-ish a little bit. You know what I mean?
You know why
Zelda came first technically because it was a Wii U game.
Yeah. You know why I think that there has to be a Nintendo Direct?
Because Nintendo just tweeted it?
They did?
Oh no, I was asking. I was like,
no,
wait, we all got excited. What? Nintendo tweeted this late?
Right? No, because I'm looking at the calendar here. Every single year there has been a Nintendo game in February.
When's Xenoblade coming out?
Huh?
When's Xenoblade?
Yeah, every single year there's been a February game coming out. Every single year for the Switch since, well, not 2017 because the following year, because the came out in March after February, but the following year, 2018 until now, February has always had a game. So I predict we are getting a Nintendo Switch Direct next week, and we will get Metroid Prime thingy dropped, shadow drop.
Oh no, so Xenoblade's coming out next year. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah,
or not next year. Next month.
Next month. So Metroid Prime, either 2 and 3, or just 2, or just 3, remastered, digitally shadow drop, and then with the later release date for the physical. That's what I think is going to happen. But we do have a Pokemon Presents confirmed for next week. That is 100% confirmed. It's happening. It's not made up. Let me go get the announcement. I'm gonna go to Twitter.
Twitter. Thank you for saying it correctly.
I'm going to Twitter. Hey,
in
they just
Chicago,
announced WrestleMania.
What'd you say, Zach?
I was just gonna say, in Chicago, we still call the Willis Tower the Sears Tower, and I think that changed when I was like 6 years old.
Yeah, I still call it the Sears Tower.
You can take these name changes from my cold dead hands.
They changed the name of my elementary school, and I was like, bruh, no.
They changed the name of the Sears Tower? When?
No. Oh, that was a couple years ago.
A long time ago. It's
Was
been
it
the
a-
Willis Tower for
What?
forever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll
Forever?
always be the Sears Tower. Like, I'm just saying forever, like a long time.
Who the heck is Willis?
Right? Apparently some rich family.
We talking about Willis? So let me see here. Remember that?
2009.
Yeah, of course I do. Oh, 2009.
Yeah, remember that?
God, has it been that long? I feel like that just happened.
You guys don't remember what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. So
Oh, sorry. What?
no, I'm just playing with you guys. So here we got to the Pokemon Presents happening next week. That's something that we can't talk about because it's confirmed, and we can go over what we want to see. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can get some Pokemon people next week over on the cast to talk about, because it's gonna be the day after the podcast. Is gonna be the day after the Pokemon Presents.
Some old friends?
Yeah, some old friends.
They know about Pokemon. I'm just
Maybe
saying.
some old friends. So Pokemon Day is on the 27th. Ooh, that's the same day of the Pokemon Presents. So it says but you can celebrate early at select Best Buy stores on 2/22 with hands-on gameplay. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Who wants hands-on gameplay of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? You mean Pokemon glitching? The glitch and the glitch? Trade and play events and free giveaways while supplies last. So that's something that Nintendo is working on. Really cool. And of course, we have here, who's ready for Pokemon Day? Here we go. They stole it from Mario. Trainers. February 27th. Pacific people. Sorry. 6 a.m. You're going to have to wake up early. 6 a.m. Pacific time. That's 9 a.m. Eastern time. That is 7 Central. Pokemon Presents. And we have Pikachu.
8
just
Central.
8 Central?
Yeah, I'm only one behind you.
Oh, okay. All right. So 8 Central. We have Pikachu here. Just let me go ahead and.
Ooh, buttons. That sounded cool.
So people have been trying to break down this trailer. Like, what do they mean by Pikachu running back and forth? I mean, it's just Pikachu. He's always been the mascot, and he just. And then the little steps. Him
That's
walking
so
right.
cute.
Yeah. So yeah, we have this confirmed now. One thing you can expect from a Pokemon Presents. Okay, what?
It's so cute.
How long is the video? 50 seconds? Okay.
He just keeps going back and forth. Anyway, so
But would they really announce a Pokemon Presents before a direct, or is it because the Pokemon Presents date always leaks anyway?
it's always been on like around February, around the same time, like the last third week, Pokemon Day. So Pokemon Presents will probably start with an update on the world tournaments that they're having, right? The card playing tournaments they have everywhere around the world and stuff like that. And then we'll venture to updates for games on mobile device. I know there's a big, giant, crazy stuff going on with the trading card game where the actually trading part is not working well. You're hitting some trade coins or whatever. People are not too happy about that. So hopefully we get an update on that. Pokemon updates on that Pokemon fighting game. What's that Pokemon fighting game again called?
Pokken Tournament?
No,
Different one.
no, the mobile game. Well, it's on Switch too, so it's also on Switch, not on Switch 2. It's also on Switch. Pokemon stuff and stuff. Pokemon beat 'em ups. Pokemon Unite. There we go. Pokemon Unite. Thank you so much, Pokemon Fan 33. That's what
I
we
don't
have.
know why we didn't think to ask her. She
Right.
knows.
Right? Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite, right? We'll get an update of Pokemon Unite. I'm pretty sure that the update will anger a lot of fans. And so after that, then we will probably get information on Pokemon Legends Arizona, which is the game we have all been
Takes
waiting
place in
for.
Arizona.
It does take place in Arizona of the past. Another a Legends game, Pokemon Legends ZA or ZA or Zapato. You know, it's a game that people have been craving for. We only saw a little trailer that really gave us nothing on it. We saw a glimpse of the map, and that is all. I'm pretty sure that the Poketubers have broken down that trailer about a million times. And so we finally get not only see the trailer, not only see gameplay, but also the release date, because it's coming out this year. It's coming out this year, my friends. We have a new Pokemon game coming out this year. Sal said we do have Pokemon here in Arizona. Yeah, and so yeah. Any thoughts? Anybody who's looking forward to Pokemon are you looking forward to Pokemon, Zach?
Yeah, I am. I know. So with Pokemon, I haven't played too many of them recently. The last ones I bought were Sword and Shield.
Uh-huh.
And I know people always complain about people complaining about Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
But like when there's less and less Pokemon in every game that comes out and the games still look the same as the ones from like 10 years ago, it's like, or 20 years ago almost.
Yeah.
It's like, can we do, and I know people say making a game's hard, and it is. I'm not denying that. But then you get modders within the first week of a system adding better looking models of the Pokemons and better looking environments and whatnot. It's just like, if these people who aren't employees and don't have access to all this stuff, it's taken them 1 week to like make everything look way better. I know looks aren't like why we do everything, but it's like, if it's taken them 1 week to make it look way better and they're not even part of the staff, like, can we just get a little bit more?
Try?
Can we get some more Pokemon? And so I kind of just, there's so many games that come out, I can't buy them all. And Pokemon's kind of fallen to the wayside for me a little bit. Where it's just been like, it looks the same as every other Pokemon to me, except there's some new Pokemons, which for some reason are always four-legged and always evolve into bipedals. Can we please have the final evolution be four-legged still? But anyways, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but Pokemon's just so creative. Like when you look at what it originally was, all of a sudden it was just like, boom, 150 of these bad boys, and they're all super different. And I get like, after decades of doing that, it's like, well, how different can we keep making them? Like we have, thousands, but it's just like just, I don't know. Pokemon just kind of leaves me wanting a little more.
So I'll just to add a little of an explanation to your bipedal argument. I think the evolution part they're seeing as animals evolving into humanoids, kind of. So that's why they always end up on 2 feet. So I think that's what the whole evolution kind of thing. But I agree. I think they should stay on their forward legs and just be more powerful.
Yeah, it'd be so cool to like just have some cool looking 4-legged or 6-legged, whatever.
7 legs, man.
Yeah,
just add a leg.
Who has an odd number of legs? That's crazy. Let's
Real.
do it.
Anyway, so yeah, Pokemon Pokemon leggings, and some legends. So we got Pokemon. I've actually played every Pokemon game on the Switch, because remember, Pokemon used to be a handheld game. We didn't have anything like other than Pokken, right, and things like that. But major Pokemon mainline games used to be on mobile devices. So I'm guessing that Game Freak's developers are used to making games for 420p, and so now they kept that same model. I'm guessing this game they've added more time to. The last game we got was Scarlet and Violet, right? That was 2 years ago, right? So at least we haven't gotten a game in 2 years, giving this game a little more time to cook. instead of getting a game every single year for Pokemon. So
Feel free to deep fry it. Don't just cook it. Deep fry it.
add some
Mhm.
sugar
Take
powder.
it-
Double
Donuts.
fry.
Double fry. Add some cheese and put some lettuce on it and some tomatoes and get some secret sauce and get a nice cold Pepsi on the side and use the Switch one, whatever the graphics and whatever the power is. Use all of it, because what was the last one that came out was Scarlet and Violet, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So
Scarlet
Scarlet and Violet, so many people and even our old friends, Vandy and her name's not Linda. Her name is not
Lynn.
Listen,
Linz. It's not Linda, but Linz. Thank you.
I think it
They
is.
even I don't know if that's her real name though. I think her name, but her channel name is Linz. But they even said, yeah, they need to cook this a whole lot more. We used to have Pokemon experts, y'all. I am not a Pokemon expert personally. Zach is probably Zach and Mike definitely more than me. But all I heard was negative things about Scarlet and Violet, and they were like, if they would just fix this or just fix these glitches, this would be such a good game. So I want them to not only let it cook this new one, Pokemon Pizza or Za or
Mhm.
Legends CA. I want them to cook it and then deep fry it, and then I want them to garnish it. Okay. And I want them to put all the toppings on it and the secret sauce. Okay. And then say a prayer over it and then serve it.
Some
That's all I'm
classic
saying.
Arizona barbecue.
Well, listen.
Classic.
So only some people will understand this, okay? But for those of you who understand this, congratulations. Cuatro quesos dos frito it. Okay? Cuatro queso dos frito it. So,
4
If
you-
cheese, 2 Fritos.
cuatro queso dos fritos. Cuatro quesos dos fritos. Let me know in the chat if you know
You
what
want
that.
cheese on your fries?
Let me know in the chat if you know where that's from, if you've seen that. But
Oh.
that's what Game Freak needs to do with that. They need to fry it, batter it, fry it again, add cheese, add egg yolk, fry it again, and then fry some more, put it in the oven, and then fry it again.
Mm-hmm. And then keep it warm, and then just give it to the people. I promise you, Pokemon, if y'all didn't lose money off of Scarlet and Violet or lose that much, if you reproduce something that amazing that the Pokemon fans are happy with, and make it with glitch free, that game is going to sell even more. And I expect big things from the next Pokemon. I am not a Pokemon fan, no offense, y'all, but I'm happy for any fan base that gets a great game. I'm happy
For me, I'm a fan.
and I'm
I
happy
was
that
when I was-
that's what I want for you.
I was when I was younger, but I'm a 90s child, so that means Pokemon was demonic, so it got thrown out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For that.
But
That's
I came back with a Pokemon Go. That was when I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't think that my whole life or anything like that. But
Yeah.
Pokemon Go was what made it easy for me to come back and start learning about all these new Pokemon again.
I remember when they thought Pokemon was the devil.
Oh my god.
My mom thought the same thing. I was
Listen,
never into Pokemon, so it was okay, but still.
yeah,
She's gotten over that now.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's next week. Pokemon Presents is happening. We are about to start our Q&A. I have not been highlighting questions. Have you guys?
I haven't seen any yet.
Yeah, I haven't been noticing any.
So let me go ahead and put this part here. Go ahead and drop your question soon.
I do see.
We're gonna go ahead and highlight the next. Let's say 10 questions. 10 questions, right? You think 10 questions is good? 10 to 15 questions.
Yeah.
All right. So the next
down.
the next 15 questions that come in, we're gonna go ahead and answer here on the podcast. So make sure that you answer. You can either at any of us. Make sure you put your questions mark at the end, so that we know it's a question and we can highlight it. All right. So any last thoughts? Next week direct. Any last thoughts on what we talked about today? We started talking about Nintendo Switch 2, the coins, the vouchers, the price. We haven't spoken about the price, by the way. But anyway, $399. That's what you can expect to get the system by itself. You want to buy a game, it's gonna be a little more, but it's gonna be at least $399. Next week, potential Nintendo Direct.
I hope so.
Potential Nintendo Direct.
It'd
And
be nice.
so,
I'm okay either way though.
yeah, potential Nintendo Direct. And if we do have that potential Nintendo Direct, of course, it's gonna be live stream on the channel, and of course, we're gonna break it down. It's gonna be a good weekend if we have both Nintendo Direct and Pokemon Presents. Good, we're gonna be a great podcast to talk about everything that they presented. So it's gonna be awesome. But any last thoughts from our cast today about the stuff this week?
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Oh, sorry, Joycey.
Go.
No, you were saying something first.
Okay. I was just saying, I love Zelda, and I'm excited for when Zelda's going to come out. And also, I'm just excited for Switch 2. I am extremely happy with what Nintendo has produced over these past 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So even if the game I want, which is Zelda, or a new Bayonetta or Astral Chain 2, or some of the other games that are a little bit more in the Joycey realm of things, don't come immediately. I'm not worried because I know they're coming, because Nintendo gained nothing but our trust during these last 8 years, because it was nothing but games. Okay, Nintendo's had some scandals over the last 8 years. It's kind of hard to hear about a couple of those scandals when you're too busy being drowned in games. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am expecting, and it better be just as good this time around with the constant gaming schedules. We're getting a Nintendo published game once a month. We're getting a bunch of third party. We're getting indies. We're getting I want everything. I expect to see everything, Nintendo, and I expect consistent announcements like we've had before. If y'all try to pull this, we're gonna pull it. We're gonna just make a game once every 6 months. I'm coming up there myself, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yep. All right, guys, you got 7 questions left. Wait.
Left. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
7 questions left. Make sure to get your question in before we fill up. So get your question out there. We got 7 spots left for 7 questions that you can ask here on the channel. All right, go ahead, Josie.
No, Zach. I did. I said my thing.
I just know one thing that I'm really excited about with Nintendo and whatnot, and even with this Pokemon, you've been talking about how it's been baking longer and whatnot, is just the fact that people like me and Mike have been talking about the potential second screen for a long time.
Yeah.
But with this, if it is a peripheral port, then there's all sorts of peripherals that they can do that we haven't even thought of yet. And so I guess it's just been so many leaks after leak after leak after leak. Like we've known about this system for like the good part, at least like a year at this point, like for the most part, like give or take a couple things, and so just to be able to kind of like wonder like, ooh, what are they going to do with this? Like, oh, what if they had this? What if they had that? Like, it's kind of nice to be at the point where we don't really know everything again. So yeah, that makes me excited, because it's fun to wonder, not just be like, oh, well, they're doing this because this person leaked that person leaked that leaked that, and they all go together and tell this story.
Yeah. So I love the fact that there are things that haven't been able to leak, like the UI from the Nintendo Switch 2, what it's going to look like. We'll have music, we'll have themes, how will the eShop look, all those little important features. The fact that the Nintendo Switch 2 looks exactly the same as the one made the leak less harsh, right? If it looked completely different, that took away the surprise factor. Then okay, yeah. But it's another Switch, a bigger screen, same Joy-Cons, a little bigger. New features. We'll find out on April 2nd, and I'm with you, Zach. I love the Christmas morning feeling. Getting to see new things and being surprised.
That's such a great way to word it.
Yeah, Nintendo Directs are like that. When we see that game, Do you remember when we first saw the Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, when we did not expect it out of left field?
Out of nowhere. Yeah.
All we saw was as soon as we saw, I think, Link, I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but a guilty pleasure of mine is after directs, a couple days I'll wait, and then somebody is always kind enough to upload all the reactions to all the big games.
Yeah.
And I watched all the reactions, and everybody said the same thing. Wait, this is Zelda? Oh my God, it's a remake. Well, wait, what game is this? And blah blah blah. We get to play as Zelda. I love direct reactions, because no shade to anybody else, no shade to PlayStation or Steam or anybody, or Steam Deck or anything else, but Nintendo knows how to make us scream.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, there at least more adults are willing to scream for Nintendo in public.
Yeah, we got
Doesn't mean that the other games are bad. It's just that we will scream.
Yeah, we're more expressive when it comes to how things that bring us joy in the world of Nintendo. And I can't wait till they open the Nintendo store here, just minutes away from me, because
we're having a podcast at your house or right in the Nintendo store parking lot. Or
I
something.
mean, it's the
While
first
I'm coming over.
the first store outside of New York from Nintendo. Nintendo store in New York has been the iconic one. Now we're gonna have one close here, where I'm gonna go ahead and stream every single direct from that place there. Every single direct I'm gonna be streaming from the Nintendo store with everybody, with interviews, talking to people. It's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait.
And it makes sense because they have a theme park and everything.
Yeah.
I like the way Nintendo does their stores, because I kind of feel like now don't get me wrong, we all know Disney is Disney, okay? But I kind of felt like there's a Disney store in almost every mall. There's a Disney store in every mall, just about. And if it's at some of my little malls in my little city, okay, then I was kind of like, I'm glad it's available. But on the other hand, Nintendo kind of has like this way of, we're going to let everybody else go, and then we're going to do what works. So we're going to slowly open Nintendo stores. But if they start taking off, I could see a big one in each city in the next 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 20 years. That makes more
sense.
Cool.
Q&A starts now. By the way, we got 3 questions left in the queue. If you want to ask your question, 3 questions. Joyce, you want to take care of the questions today, please?
I will. Not because I'm good at it.
Because I am blind. I can't see.
Technically, without my glasses, I am too. Okay.
I don't think
Shout
that's
out
technically Joycey.
Let me go ahead. There you go.
I even look weird. I don't even recognize myself without my glasses. Y'all ought to see me in the morning when I'm stumbling and fumbling around. Shout out to you, Pokemon Fan 33. Always keeping up with the questions for it. Now my eyes got to readjust. Okay.
I had a guy leave a comment. Wasn't this guy going blind? Should be blind by now. And in my chat, I'm like, I appreciate the kind wishes. Like,
he should be. That's not how always medical conditions work. Just saying. I don't know how long one of my cousins has had a certain illness, and they keep telling her 1 more year, 1 more year. Yeah, that's been 5 years. We're not even listening to the doctor anymore. Okay. Pokemon Fan 33. Hey, this is for you, Mike. I don't know if it matters, but if it isn't this month, can it be early March? I'm assuming. Pokemon Fan, what are you talking about? We did talk about a lot of stuff. Which one are you talking about?
Direct.
The direct, yeah.
Oh, the direct. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is unrecognizable Nintendo. It's not the same relationship. We don't have the same relationship. It's something gone wrong. It's like, it's not me, it's you. Nintendo say, like, it's not me, it's you. You were the one who has changed, and we're not communicating the same. I don't know what's going on, and so so it's Nintendo. Nintendo does whatever they want when they want, so it's possible.
Mike, can you blow into the breathalyzer so I know exactly what's in your coffee? Moving right along. Joyce, that's no, go away. Oh, thank you, Aaron Cedillo. Joycey J, you think Pokemon GBA coming to Switch and Black and White's coming? I'm going to pass that question off to the experts and whatever they say. Yeah, what them say.
Eventually, yeah, eventually.
Mhm. Yeah, I say eventually
beautiful.
for sure. You know, even if there's no second screen, like we
Oh,
can
this is
still
GBA.
emulate games.
This is GBA.
Oh, I thought that meant Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance is only one screen.
Oh, right. I was thinking the flip one. Yeah, I could see that.
That's yeah, Game Boy Advance SD. Is it?
Yeah, that's the first Game Boy Advance I had. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Remember, that's during the time that I couldn't play
Oh,
Pokemon. So.
Yeah. And of course,
Devil.
eventually, I mean, there's the Pokemon Presents coming up. Hopefully, man, finally, come on.
I would imagine they would announce if something was coming like immediately or shadow dropping. They would, of course, if it was shadow dropping. But I would guess they could bring back something and present that as well. Like, hey, we remade this game, or this game is now finally coming to Switch, or whatever. Do they do that at Pokemon Presents too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is this?
This
Best Buy Butter says, which is an amazing name, by the way.
Wow.
it is. Butters!
Like it's either the butter from Best Buy, or it's like warning you that like this butter's about to get expensive. You best buy some butter right now.
Something. I do need butter. I need to add that to my list.
Do you think Nintendo will do a direct for Mario Day or wait for April 2nd?
Nope. Mario Day has always been a day. No, Mario Day has always been a day. They will have something. I think this thing that Mario thingy, the bundle is for Mario Day.
That would make sense. Yeah, they'll post something. Do I know what?
It's a
No,
Mario
but-
Day. All right.
Thank you for reminding me to get butter at the store tomorrow. Seriously, it's my grocery list. I forgot.
Demonic Brawler is asking something. Do you all think expert? Oh, that's not your voice. Sorry, Demonic Brawler.
You want me to do it, Mike? Or you got it?
You go. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Demonic Brawler. Do y'all actually expect to see another color scheme for Switch 2 at the April 2nd Direct? For me, all we know for, do we know this for certain that it's 2 SKUs? We know that for certain, right?
I mean,
Or is it a rumor?
we didn't see the white Switch until the OLED came out, and they gave us, all they did was gave us different colored Joy-Cons in the initial Nintendo reveal. This time around, they are giving us color in the Joy-Cons themselves. So if you kind of put two together, I'm gonna say yes. Although I was leaning towards no. There could be a white one with the same color SKU. Who knows? But I know there's 2 SKUs there. Maybe one of them is the Nintendo Switch. The one we saw revealed, and then the other one is a bundle for the holiday season with Mario Kart
That's a
9.
possibility too.
Mhm.
So, to the part where you're like, do we actually expect it? It just wouldn't surprise us. Because there were 2 SKUs when the Switch 1 dropped. One was all black and one was the neon colors. So
Yep.
it just wouldn't surprise me. This could, and the one that Nintendo toted around was the one with the neon colors. So
Yeah.
it's a possibility there could be an all black Switch, and the one that we've seen in the official reveal that has the colors on it, and then later down the line they're going to sell us multiple by making special editions, new Joy-Cons, different colors and everything. They could do it that way, or it would be nice so on April 2nd if they're like, look, we got this version and we got this version, pick a color and go with it. That'd be great, and it wouldn't surprise me, because the question is, why are there 2 SKUs? Wii U had 2 SKUs.
I have a question.
Did you put it in the chat?
I did not. I'm jumping the line, but no, it's related to this. If they were to do another color, a lot of us keep saying a white one, which I've seen a mock-up where like there's still the little colors around the Joy-Cons, but it's like a lighter, like an icier blue and a lighter orange. And it looks beautiful. Whoever did the mock-up is fantastic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
I've seen it.
Hop tree.
before, we've got these different basically the color was on the Joy-Con shell itself for the Switch 1.
Mhm.
So the different color switches and Joy-Cons, the Joy-Cons were a different color.
Mhm.
But now the color is like inside of
Yeah.
the Joy-Con. So if we get different colors, like if we get a white one, will that stay blue and orange on them, or will that change too? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Like-
thinking that is the base model or the base colors for
Mhm.
both
Mhm.
systems. Like those are the base colors for both systems, right? And then, and this is the way I see it. When I saw that, wow, maybe Nintendo for future consoles, they're not gonna do much with the Joy-Cons. They'll just do something like nice on the dock, and then just do a different color scheme on the Joy-Con itself, leaving it very simple, nice, and then you know what I mean.
I think the other color, in my personal opinion, is probably going to be all black, because the Switch 2, the colors that are on it are just very, very muted colors. They're the muted neon colors. It's still basically a red and blue Switch.
Let me rephrase my question a little bit, because I think I said it kind of wrong.
Uh-huh.
Do you think we're going to what's more likely is Joy-Cons that are black but the ring is a different color, or Joy-Cons that the shell is a different color? If that makes sense.
Initially, or
Like as
initially-
we start getting color variations, are the color variations just going to be on those colored rings, or are they going to be on the whole Joy-Con? Is my
I think-
question.
I pray to God it'll be on the whole Joy-Con, because they'll just simply make more money that way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like it's gonna be a combination of both. Like if they do white Joy-Cons, they will have the color, some color, color scheme on it.
Mhm.
They're not gonna be as crazy as the ones we've seen. What's happening here?
That sounds like the Nintendo Switch 2 trailer.
Right.
I am not
So
playing it, I swear.
yeah, I'm the one playing it on my end. Just want to share this part here. So I think that for the most part, this part here, this part right here will either be white or black, right? So this right here, this Joy-Con is black. Right here is black, right? And so with this model, it's either going to be white with this color or black with this color.
Okay,
the
that's
first-
what I was asking.
Yeah, for the base Nintendo Switch model, we'll see it in April. Then, if we are gonna get a Zelda edition, for example, I believe that they're gonna work with. They're not gonna be all crazy with design. I think they're gonna just kind of give us different color variations that go well with the system, and maybe on the dock they'll have where's the dock? Where is it? There's the dock. Where is it? On the dock here, they'll have a nice design that goes with it, right? Because if you look at this Nintendo Switch right now, it looks very sleek. It looks very modern, and it looks pro, like that pro feeling. It's a more powerful system. It's not doesn't look like a kid's thing anymore. It looks like more like a pro system. And look at this. Even the inside of the thing here. What do you call this thing here? The grip, yeah. The inside of the grip has color too, right? And so I think this is the blue and red Joy-Con from the past, but now in a more sleeker, nice, not too crazy color, right? I don't think they're gonna go back to those huge bright colors that they used to. I think they're gonna do like muted colors with hints of colors on this part here. That's what I feel. And what I see when I look at this system here, like yeah, that's a long answer.
So one more call to Nintendo today. Nintendo, when it comes to designing stuff on your systems, I'm gonna need y'all to start hiring your fans. Because with all due respect, my Zelda Special Edition Lite should not look better than my OLED. I'm sorry if that's mean.
The who?
To Nintendo. I told them they need to start hiring their fans to do their design artwork when they do these systems, because the fans that got it on lock. Seriously. All right, shout out to Chris Lee. How big do you think the battery size for Switch 2? How big do you think the battery size is for Switch 2? Also, love the channel.
Thank you.
Chris.
Appreciate you. I think it's gonna be bigger because the screen's gonna be bigger. So maybe it has a larger battery. I think the larger battery on the Switch will not give you better battery life, but at least the same battery life on a more powerful system. You know, and so I think that's a good realistic point to keep it, right? Depending on how the software, because I know with Apple, they make their own software and they make their own hardware, so they can use a combination of both to maximize battery of the battery on a MacBook. You can get up to 24 hours of battery life on a MacBook, right? And so on a Nintendo Switch system, if Nintendo, this is the thing, Nintendo doesn't do their hardware; they do the software and the games. They outsource the chips and on NVIDIA chip and Samsung screen, and I mean, everything is outsourced, right? And so I think that the best expectation we can have for the system is that we'll probably have the same battery life as a Switch OLED, but with more power, right? Better games, more resolution, bigger screen, and everything that comes with the enhancements that we get. Not more battery life. If we do get more battery life, it's a good surprise, right? It's a good surprise.
Are we getting more battery life? Do we know that for certain yet?
There's nobody has no leak has come out or anything battery wise or nothing that we know of.
Because when I think of good battery life, I think of your biggest game. Let's take Tears of the Kingdom with all of its wacky mechanics, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have something like Tears of the Kingdom. I never tested this, but from what I understand, a game like Tears of the Kingdom will probably last a fully powered Switch. Take it off the dock. It'll probably last you about a good hour to hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. Tears of the Kingdom, yeah.
So when we all fly to Japan, when I start working at Nintendo and I start doing their marketing and it's done right, and I invite you guys to come over to Japan, what are you supposed to do for the rest of the 14 hours?
I don't know. But all I can tell you is that I got a video coming up where I have a battery that is attached to the Nintendo Switch to the back, and it's 10,000 milliamp battery hours to the Switch.
That's a long time.
That's an exclusive.
Yeah, so 10,000 milliamp battery hours to the Switch. So it's pretty cool. You'll find when the video comes out, you guys will see it. Because battery life is going to be a big thing with Switch 2, especially on the handheld mode when we get those big games coming out. It's going to be a big thing. And if you guys want to extend your battery life, I have a video coming out for that pretty soon.
Woo!
Thank you, Chris Lee, for the question. Super awesome.
Shout out to you. And next question. Shout out to Boo Mini, Joycey, Mike, and Zach. What Zelda game do you think we get this year? I already answered this one, so y'all go for it.
I think we're getting the remasters.
Yeah.
Which ones? Who knows? I'm still leaning towards Breath of the Wild remastered being a launch title. So I'm gonna go with that one. But then I'm going to throw a curveball and say end of the year, like December, end of the year, Nintendo shows the first 10-second, 5-second teaser for the new Zelda game that will come out in 3 or 4 years.
I mean, yeah, they've actually done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we normally get about that amount of time to speculate and make all these theory videos and shorts and stuff.
Yep.
So I don't see that. I see that happening. I'm gonna say Wind Waker, for sure. I say I don't think. I think Breath of the Wild will be a highlight of Switch 2, but I think that I think it'll be. I think Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will both receive patches for Switch 2. Pokemon, not Pokemon, Zelda game. Forget Pokemon. Zelda game, and then another one that will receive a patch or a remaster that will look incredible, and they will change the ugly character styles from the game is Twilight Princess. Link is cool. Zelda's cool. I'm not too fond of the guy that starts off the game with Link at the beginning when you get Epona with his face like all this form. He looks like a cucumber, but not a cucumber. He looks like a avocado. It's weird. His face is weird. Why does he look like a cartoon when Link looks like a human being? Doesn't compute. My brain is not.
Because you haven't gotten farther into the game than that, Mike. That's why you don't understand. So it's a good game. Twilight Princess is still probably one of my top 5. Because
will it look good remastered? Will it look good remastered?
Oh no.
No.
Okay. So we got a link. Okay, well, I'll go over my Zelda list because I think I finally narrowed it down to the 5. But Twilight Princess is in that top 5, and I am so harsh on that game because, in my opinion, even though it was an overcorrection on what they did with Wind Waker, because the fans did not appreciate that tune style, and some people still want it. I'm not one of those people. So Twilight Princess was basically an overcorrection, but it forced Nintendo to kind of get a little bit out of their comfort zone. It's like there's almost little to no color in that game. They tried to, in my opinion, they tried to make it look like everybody else, when really all they needed to do was make it look borderline, just realistic enough, just different enough from Wind Waker to make it go boom. That's really all they needed. But that's because so the fact that they went so into another direction, and then I also think they resented the fact that we didn't like the Toon Link, because Wind Waker has aged beautifully. All the games just about have aged really beautifully. Twilight Princess did not age past the year it came out. Yeah, I said it. I mean that. It needs to be completely remade from the ground up. And it needs to be done by a team like, don't use Tantalus again. It needs to be used, done either in-house, or they need to give it to Monolith Soft. Monolith is too busy. They need to give it basically to somebody in-house who's going to take good care of that game. Because I was mad when I got that HD version, because I swore I thought this. I have a Wii U, and this is what I thought at the time. Oh, it's going to look better on my TV. In the presentation, it doesn't matter. No, it needs a full remake from the ground up. Spare no expense, and I mean that.
Yeah,
with all of my heart, because I love that game. And that game would get so much attention if they had just done it the way they originally presented it. Sorry.
Dang it. See, I appreciate you, Joyce, saying that, because I feel that it was lacking in art artistically compared to every other Zelda game. Like you said, colors, right? The colors.
The art is there. The problem is you can't see it, and the reason you can't see it is because it was blurry to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, I know you blame certain things on your eyesight. Twilight Princess has nothing to do with your eyesight. No, it really looks like that.
It just looks like that.
It just looks like that. It has nothing to do with your eyesight.
Boom Mini. What Zelda games do you guys think we're going to get this year? Joycey, let me tell you my top 5 favorite Zelda games. Actually, let me tell you everything wrong with Twilight Princess.
They already put the quality of life improvements in there. We don't have to chase those dang on bugs for like 2 hours. Okay, that's much faster. Mike doesn't know what I'm talking about, y'all, because he hasn't finished it. So that's why I'm kind of just saying it like this.
Twilight Princess?
And yeah, Twilight Princess. You haven't been to that part yet. So and then
I haven't been to Epona.
And then we get the reveal of the Twilight Princess in all her full glory, and she looked like that. Now, compare that to Hyrule Warriors, which is also blurry, but it wasn't blurry when it came out. And see how much that popped, how much those colors popped on the Wii U and everything, and they were beautiful. Why don't we remake Twilight Princess with those designs? Stop, Nintendo. You know what? When I get this PhD, Nintendo gonna hire me. One way or the other, these people gonna hire me because they're doing it all wrong. Joycey going to bed after this, y'all.
And that was a question by. Thank you.
I love you, Boo Mini. Thank you,
Mike
for your
with
question.
the perfect segue out of that.
Pokemon Fan 33. Thank you, Pokemon Fan 33, for that question.
It said, everyone, what do you think the price point will be for the Switch 2?
$399. 99 cents.
I'm overshooting it so I don't get too much sticker shock. I'm overshooting it at 500.
Ooh, my God.
I'm hoping that's how much you should at least save.
I mean, yeah, with the game and tax. If you're going to get Mario Kart 9 and plus tax is going to get up to the $399, $70 for Mario Kart. Yes, $70 for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And then the tax.
I'm still on the not the fence, but I agree $399. But then I think that there will be I think the second SKU could be a bundle of Mario Kart and the Switch for $450 or $449.
$449.
There we go.
So that way you save a little money if you.
But that's a big deal. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
That's
If
a
you want
$50.
it.
Yeah, it's a like a $49 game.
And maybe it'll come with a wheel too, like Mario Kart Wii did.
Yeah. That's a
Come with a
good deal.
wheel.
Good deal.
Oh,
I'm gonna go as low. I'm gonna go as low as $349 for the system. As low as $349 as I'll let Joycey think about the high numbers because I can't think that high. My
You can think that high. I just need people.
My pocket can't comprehend those numbers.
It's okay. I hear and I have a calculator. So what you got to do, y'all, is if you haven't been saving your money since the rumors of the Pro,
Y'all heard of Bitcoin? No.
You heard of Bitcoin? Dude, I almost got Bitcoin when it was like cheap.
man, I'm so mad that I didn't just say, let me just spend $1, just see what happens. Why didn't I do that?
I remember Bitcoin. I remember Bitcoin when it was like nothing.
Remember the 90s?
There was no
Back
Bitcoin.
when I
Remember
couldn't
when
play
social
Pokemon.
media was normal?
There was no social media in the 90s.
I'm just saying, you haven't seen that season of South Park, have you?
Facebook,
The member berries?
MySpace was in the early 2000s.
Mike, it's okay, sweetie. It was the member berries from South Park. If anybody's watched South Park and y'all saw that season, the
Can you
member
check?
berries are basically like nostalgic fruit that would make people just like
Pepperidge
kind of
Farm
check out of
remembers.
real life. Yeah, they would
Let
check out of real life and stuff like
send
that.
me-
And just say
send me-
member.
Send me the actually I can look it up. Member berries. Okay, look it up. And then I'll
Yeah,
watch.
just look up member berries and it's like, remember the 90s? And it was just like all the nostalgic things that we kind of miss because let's be honest, some of the world has gone a little bit crazier than we thought it was.
Yeah.
So it's like, remember this, remember that. I am so sleepy. Okay.
Wait. Demonic
Demonic
Brawler.
Oh, you got it.
No, I'll just read the name.
Okay. Shout out to you again, Demonic Brawler. But Mike, this question is for you. Oh no, it's for all of us. Do we
Yeah.
think Nintendo will mention the SD Express support during the April 2nd Direct? And if
Yeah.
so, will retailers start promoting larger sized SD Express cards? That's a good question.
Yeah, I think they
Good.
are. I think they will because they have to mention all the improvement. Listen, Nintendo's job is to convince everyone why the Switch 2 is different from the Switch 1 because so far they're both the same. Bigger
They
screen,
don't like to get into power and
bigger
stuff. Like that.
Joy-Cons. But they will go into resolution. They will go into the big screen. Like I said, I had a source and I shared it on Twitter that they will be focusing on the big screen on tabletop mode. They'll be focusing on third-party support and how powerful the system is. Mario Kart 9, the Joy-Cons, new features, all that stuff. So they have to convince you why the Switch 2 is better than Switch 1. What makes it different, right? Why do you have to upgrade? And that's their job. They need to convince you that it's worth upgrading. And I think that a faster SD card with faster speeds is better. It's good for the system. Look at how much quicker this game loads than this one. It's because the new SD Express support on the Nintendo Switch 2 reads the games a lot faster, and therefore your loading times are reduced to nothing. So I think it's
That's fair.
it's a big
That's fair.
it's a big thingy.
I don't know. I think that maybe because there are going to be so many eyes on Nintendo this time, because I'm not even trying to be funny, but um I don't like when people call Nintendo a kiddie system or whatever, because that same kiddie system has a lot of third party that is definitely not for kids. Okay, so there's that. But I'm wondering if they would go over to the specs like you said, because I was thinking about it. I was like, I remember when the PlayStation 5 Pro was released, and they didn't go into how to play it, how to plug it in. They didn't do any of the basics. They did like, this is why it looks better than your PlayStation 5. This is why the Pro looks better. So I'm wondering if Nintendo will do something like this, because it's more of an adult presentation. You see what I mean? Not adult like you know what I mean? Like anything bad, but it's more of, this is our big boy system, and it does this resolution, and it does this teraflops and the G flops and the megabytes.
Yeah.
Tech or whatever, because Nintendo doesn't usually do that. That's why I'm kind of pointing that out.
This is
it makes sense.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. This is the PS5 Pro of the Nintendo Switch, because it's still a Nintendo Switch. It's a more powerful system, and not only are they going to convince you why you should get it, but they also need to convince third-party developers who have not yet decided to come to Switch why they should. And so I think that's also going to have they're going to have a big third-party presence, right, on the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation. And again, going back to the question, SD Express support is a big part of this. Knowing that PlayStation and Xbox both have their Express cards also. They're different. They're bigger size, but Nintendo has their SD's Express support. That's going to be a big part of the presentation, and I think it's going to be awesome. And of course, they are already out there. I remember the first time we heard about this was Samsung making some Express cards, and them mentioning that they had a handheld, a big handheld company that was going to launch a new system, and so they were making these Express cards for that system. And of course, now we know that is the Nintendo Switch 2. We're there. It's happening.
And also, I know there's some people who are like, well, they don't really need to convince us of anything. They got to convince people. They don't have to convince gamers who are keeping an eye on this stuff, who are waiting for this stuff. The general consumer probably knows that there's a Switch 2 coming, but they're not paying that close of attention, because they're not gamers like us. They don't care about the new thing. They're just like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll get that one of these days or whatever. One of my cousins or whatever, I made her buy a Switch, or I made her husband buy her a Switch so she could play Splatoon with me. And even though it was featured on the Nintendo news site itself, she was like, she's like, oh, that Switch 2, is that finally coming out? And I was like, girlfriend, it's on your news. It's the first thing you see when you open up your Switch. She's like, I'm not paying attention to that. I don't read any of that stuff. I don't follow any of that. Okay, then. So that's just an example of some of the people they're going to convince. That's what I mean by that. I just wanted to clear that up, because somebody was like, no, they don't need to convince anybody. It's like, they kind of do.
Nobody right now. Listen, nobody in our chat, nobody that's watching right now. You guys are not conventional fans. You are super fans. You guys are Express like
we're the whales, y'all.
We are. You are the super fans. You're watching this podcast right now, and you're watching this live stream about Nintendo games, and you're watching them every Friday night with us. You guys are the super fans, and you know more about Nintendo and their games and the systems than 99% of the regular audience. So that's the people they need to kind of sell to.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
A great question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think I have a slight delay on my side. It's kind of funny because I feel like Microsoft is really, really, really good out of all of the big three game companies. I feel like Microsoft is really good about putting all of this tech stuff in their presentations. Yeah. Where like Nintendo and Sony are kind of just like, look how much faster this is, and like that's kind of it. Where, yeah, I feel like every Xbox presentation is explaining things about teraflops and stuff.
I know.
Kind of like hit me when we were talking about that.
Flip flops and flippily blops.
And
and
megabytes,
and megabytes and gigabytes
teraflops,
and blurpity blops.
and mini bops,
Yeah. Everyone
and potato chips.
charge more for NSL, especially if they add more consoles like GameCube, DS. Huh. I'm gonna say yes. They might up it a little, up it just a little bit. If they add more consoles to it, if they don't add more consoles to, I mean, if they do add more consoles to it, and they don't raise the price, I'm gonna give Nintendo a big stand ovation. Like,
Here's
I think what they're gonna do. I'm sorry, JC. What they're gonna do is do they have a monthly subscription for the expansion pass, or is this just they just charge you off the back the $79 or whatever?
Expansion. They have monthly, but it's not for family, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that though. I can go to the website right now.
Yeah, because I think that in order to sell you a higher expansion pack with more GameCube DS and other things like that, they would need to introduce a better way to pay other than you paying up front. They would need to, break it down into bite-sized payments for people to jump on that, right? Let me know. I know that for the base model there is like $4, $9 a month, something like that.
All right.
It is like $21. It's $20. I think it's $19.99.
No,
it's like $21 some change.
I only see yearly on their website.
Yeah. So
I see $19.99 for the regular Nintendo account
for the year, which is pretty good.
But then for Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, it only gives us $50 for a year, or I had it backwards. Okay, so it's $50 for a year for one person, or $80 for a year for a family. But there's no monthly option for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's say that because of GameCube, that does go from 80 to 90, or maybe to even $100, $20 more than having people pay $9 a month, or $7 a month, then that could, ease the load that comes up to $84 a year. So, yeah, they can still offer the if you want to pay up up front, or if you want to just subscribe and then pay $7 to $8 a month for the 12 months, which I think will be awesome. Which will be a good way of presenting a higher tier, or raising up the price, right? Xbox has it; they have the monthly, and so does PlayStation. So I think that could be a way to introduce a higher tier, but. Do I want a higher tier? No. Will they present it? Yeah, most likely.
What I feel like might happen, I don't know why, but I was just thinking about this before the podcast.
Yeah.
I think I was just like, I might talk about this, like, when we're like talking about your own stuff about the Nintendo Switch too. But I was kind of thinking about the fact that I could see them not introducing a new higher tier, but introducing middle tiers. But really that's a marketing gimmick because they raise the price of the higher tier, so really it is a new tier. But as more systems come to the Nintendo Switch Online, it might be easier for them to start having different expansion bundles. So you have the Nintendo Switch expansion Retro that only is from Nintendo through Nintendo 64 or whatever, or only from NES through Nintendo 64, where then you have the Nintendo Switch Online Complete, which is everything. And so, they might do something like that when when there's so many systems where it's like, all right, this is a really good deal. But that's just kind of my thoughts on it, was introducing a new payment option or a new tier.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that too, but I was thinking, because with and maybe I don't know even know if this is a great idea. I'm just off the top of my head. So if they leave the SNES and NES, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they took those away from the basic subscription, the $20 one, because I literally pay for NSO online just so I could play online, because y'all know I'm obsessed with playing Splatoon. Yeah, that's what I bought online for. If I really, really want to play those old games, eventually there's not even going to have TVs to run it, to run those old systems. I think, maybe, but I can see them. The $20 is the base. This is just so you can play online, and then they kind of move everything up a bit, so the next package is going to have SNES, NES, and online, and you get certain perks because you're a member, like Alarmo, and then it kind of goes up from there. I know that's similar to what Zach was saying, but I was just wondering how would people feel, how would you guys feel about that if it's just $20 just to pay online, and they move the online, the other stuff like the games, the older games and everything, to a different tier.
Yeah, I don't think people will be happy with that. I don't think people will be
No,
happy. I think that
I'm not happy with it already.
Yeah,
that base model will stay exactly the same as it is,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll just add another one on top of that, right?
So you'll think they'll do it the other. They won't take anything away. They'll just add. Okay.
Yeah, they'll just add one on top of it, where it includes everything from tier 1 to tier 3, for like $100, $120.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the PlayStation 1 is $160 a year, right? But they offer online multiplayer, cloud saving, and free monthly games. Nintendo Switch Online, you need it for cloud saving, right?
Mhm.
So cloud saving is part of the feature. Online playing, and then you have the base model. You have the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance, right? Game Boy Advance is part of the base.
Now I believe I have the page up still. Let's see.
Okay. I was like, I can pull out my
no.
Switch and see.
No, Game Boy Advance is not part of the base. It's only in the expansion plus.
Isn't the base Game Boy in there?
Yeah,
Yes.
Game Boy and Game Boy Color is part of the base.
So Nintendo 64, and Game Boy Advance, and Sega Genesis are the 3 that are on the expansion plus.
Sega is there like on the wall. It's been this since the beginning, but they have done nothing with it. Can you add another Sega system? Maybe, Dreamcast or something like that in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Saturn.
Yeah, the Saturn. But yeah, I that's a good question, by the way, Pokemon Fan 33. Thank you.
It is.
I could see a premium tier coming with like DLC for all first party Nintendo
Oh, by the way, the
games.
DLC is included
That'd be
with
nice.
the expansion pack, by the way.
Exactly. That's what I was like. I
So-
saw the Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, and Splatoon, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's something they could do, is all first party DLCs are like in the premium one. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a good point. The only thing is, my concern with that is, what if you don't want online for a year? You just try to save a few bucks or whatever, and then you lose all your DLC. So I would
Yep. you gotta
encourage
buy
people
it.
to buy their. I would encourage people to buy their DLC. I
Yeah.
think it's more reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew Reynolds, Joycey J. I heard. Oh, this was about our conversation about the battery before. I heard the battery itself is relatively small for Switch 2 based on the space inside the case. That's one main reason I see the dual screen thing not really happening. I'm gonna leave that to my tech experts, Mike
So,
and Zach.
So first, it's the continuation of patent updates on the same topic and on the same technology that brings us to the point that Nintendo is not letting go of a certain feature or a certain product, right? And so with the multiple patents on Nintendo Switch dual screen, the multiple patents on Nintendo, we have 2 now with the flippy flip thingy, right? The fact that they are flipping the system so that you still have access to your charging point, your headphone jack, your game cartridge, and maybe an external battery that you could be attached to the system, like the one I'm going to talk about, because external batteries are part of the ecosystem, right? And again, not only that, but when it comes to the technology, right? Depending on the if it's an ARM chip that is used in the system, ARM chips are more they consume less battery. I know this because Apple switched to ARM chips with their M chips on their phones, and therefore that's why they can get crazy battery life on that. So it's a combination of software and hardware, and how for example, if the battery if the second screen will only be used for 3DS games, for 3DS games and for Nintendo DS games, well, you can expect the same battery life that the Nintendo 3DS have, right? And expect the same battery life that Nintendo, well, better battery life than the Nintendo DS had, right? And so dual screen functionality doesn't have to be for every game. I don't think Nintendo is going to intentionally release any more dual screen games. I think this is more for those games that do depend on it and that people want. You have to remember that the DS is right now still the king on Nintendo Switch, Nintendo consoles. So selling 100 and what 50, 60, 65, whatever systems. So there is a big fan base out there, and so the dual screen functionality when it does come to Nintendo Switch is going to be for games that don't require that much power consumption, right? The graphics are not going to be over the top.
I didn't think about that.
You know, it's going to be they're going to consume less power, especially if the games are on NSO, which could potentially also be on the cloud. It's going to take nothing out of the system itself. It's all going to be based on the cloud, right?
He has a response that's a good one. Do you want me to read it to you?
Of course, yeah.
He said, but you're still powering two physical screens regardless of the resolution.
So it needs the light and the energy, and that is.
But again, you are also powering two physical screens with the Nintendo 3DS, and it had its certain battery power. We have to understand that technology moves forward, and if you're gonna use, let's say, if you want to use the 3DS feature, you have to expect the same battery life that you're gonna get from a 3DS, right? If you're gonna play certain games like Joyce was saying, I only get an hour and a half battery life from Tears of the Kingdom on my Switch, right? And that's on the Switch. So when it comes to battery life, it all depends on the video game you're playing, and you can expect the same battery life as you would expect on the original system moving forward. It was and the thing is that on that system, you have to understand that you have the ability to detach and attach. So there, again, it's just depending on the game, and you can expect the same battery life of that system. We have to take into account technology as it moves forward, right? Things could work on less battery power depending on how they're developed and how they're consumed. Like I said, Apple with their M2 chips can power a MacBook for 20 hours, 20 hours, 24 hours on a M2 because of the M2 chip. A combination of software and hardware can make it so that you don't consume that much power. And again, it all has to do with the video game too. You can't play Tears of the Kingdom with two screens and it probably lasts like 10 minutes. But yeah. So it depends on the game. Depends on the new hardware, because we still need to find out what hardware you're using. What internals. But Nintendo's not going to talk about what chip they're using. That's not how they are. We'll find out after the fact. Once the system is out, people break it down and see. We'll find out more. But yeah, it's a combination of things. We'll find out more later on, as
And I alluded to this earlier as well, but I actually just broke out the calculator to get some numbers. And so, let's say the maximum battery life, like if the light on the screen is just on, there's not even a game, you're just on your home menu. Let's say the maximum battery life of this system is 4 hours. And so, obviously a second screen is going to affect that somewhat. But regarding the resolution, this is a 1080 screen. Our regular Switch is a 720 screen. And again, we were talking about these DS games were like 400 by 200 and like 800 by 200 or whatever it was. So if when you were playing in that mode, obviously this wouldn't even be every Wii U game, and this wouldn't even be every 3DS game. You know, they
Yeah.
don't all fully use the functionality. So as far as the Wii U goes, since that was a higher resolution system than the 3DS, since Mike was talking about the native system, the original system mattering, the Wii U, all of the games can be upscaled to 1080, but almost all of them were 720, except for Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, which was 1080 30 frames. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was 1080 60, and Monster Hunter 3 was 1080 and 60 supposedly, but usually got closer to 38. But so with that said, like, those aren't games that you would be playing in dual screen mode anyways, if they were to come on. And so if when you put the second screen on, and this is just my own idea, that both displays are limited now to 720 as far as the resolution that's being output. 720 is 1280 by 720, which is a little over 900,000 pixels. 1080, so just the Switch 2's regular screen, 1080 is 1920 by 1080, which is a little over 2 million pixels. So what that means is if you had two 720 displays, if the main display is limited to 720 when the second one's on there, two 720 displays is actually 200,000 less, more than 200,000 less pixels than just the regular 1080 screen. So limiting both screens to 720, which is the resolution of the screen on the Switch 1, so we know that looks good. That right there gets you less resolution total than just playing the Switch 1 with one screen on its regular screen, or the Switch 2 on its regular screen. So I think that can be a huge battery saving method.
Yeah. At the end, it's all gonna come to. I know there's a rumor that Nintendo is using. There is the 8 nanometer chip from NVIDIA that could be reduced to 5 with an update, right? With when they update it, and that has to do a lot with how much battery power we will have later on. But again, with when we find, we'll see how much what really hardware we're working with on Nintendo Switch 2. But then we're talking about Nintendo DS games at 320p. You know what I mean? And so with that, the power consumption for those particular games is not going to be as, for example, add the second screen, play a 3DS game could be equivalent to playing the high-end Zelda game that comes out on Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes to power consumption. You know what I mean? Maybe you have 4 hours of power consumption of 4 hours to 5 hours on that Zelda game. That's like a lot, right? Compared to the 1 hour or half hour went on Tears of the Kingdom. And then you add the screen to play 3DS games and play DS games, which of course consume less power because of the graphical power. Then you still have a good amount of playing time, right? And so, yeah, this is a matter of waiting, you know. I put into ChatGPT, okay? And this is what it says. Assuming Switch 2 baseline, the baseline is 6 to 10 hours of battery life. A second screen could reduce it, all right, to 4 to 7 hours of battery life. This is ChatGPT from Grok. So it did some research and it created from assuming the battery life is from 6 to 10, it'll reduce it from 5 to 7 battery.
So 30% less.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still, and this is putting it into account just 3DS games, not Nintendo DS games or anything on NSO. So not the DS games are not really, they don't consume that much power. I mean, the emulators run them on phones, but then again, phones are also very powerful nowadays.
And also, the dual screen, we're still kind of talking about it as a possibility. We don't know yet. I just think it would be a mic drop for Nintendo to say, "This is the Switch that we showed you. Yay, it's pretty. You can have this." Or the Nintendo Switch 2 clam.
It's a mic drop.
It's like a 3DS, and then they just drop the mic and just walk off the stage. Because let's keep it real, I don't even miss a lot of my 3DS games and DS games, but I would totally get one just so I can say, well, never played these games, so they're kind of new to me. So that's why I would buy a Nintendo Switch 2 Clam. It's like a 3DS, but better.
But better. And shout out to our new member, David Patterson. Thank you so much for joining our memberships here on the channel. Enjoy all the little perks that we have here, including a whole bunch of videos available only for members on the channel, and then more perks to come. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it. And those are the questions, right? That's it. You good?
That's it.
That's it.
Everybody.
That is amazing.
So amazing.
All right, so I guess it's time. We've had a really good discussion. To good
Discussion.
You're
right.
Okay. So
We gotta go.
I was just reading the private to make sure I didn't miss anything because I saw a little ding there. And
Yeah, because you missed a lot of stuff.
that's what I'm saying. That's
You be
what
cracking jokes, Mike, and
That's it.
everything.
The one time Mike checks the private is when it doesn't
Nope.
actually matter.
exactly.
The one time.
I mean, it's not the one time. Is me putting effort into checking it this time. This time.
Bruh.
All right, my friends. It's now time to introduce the cast that made it all possible. Here, we thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and take it over to Joycey J. Joycey,
that's
Dr.
me.
Joycey J, where can we find you?
I'm really liking the way that sounds. Hi, I'm Joycey J. I like Zelda, like a lot. Yeah, and you should follow me on Twitter. I am DJ Joycey on Twitter. I don't have a channel because, to be perfectly honest, you guys, I'm extremely boring. This is the most fun I have all week. So you can catch me here every Friday night on the Nintopics Podcast. If you want to holler at me on Twitter, again, at DJ Joycey, feel free to ask me a Zelda question. I will answer.
All right, thank you, Joycey J. And over to Zach Attack Hendricks.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us and vibing. This is always my favorite part of the week. You can find me here every Friday at Mike Odyssey's YouTube channel. For those of you who are listening and not on YouTube, you can find us here every Friday at Mike Odyssey's YouTube channel. And then after this, I stream Smash Bros. Ultimate on my YouTube channel, Zach Hendricks Media, which is also where you can find me pretty much everywhere, except for Twitter/X, where I am Young Calf Zach for different reasons. But yeah, if you are going to be vibing with me after this, I'm probably going to take another 15-20 minutes before I go live because I got to jump on a call. But that's where you can find me, and that's what's up.
That's a code for bathroom
booked
break.
and busy.
That's a code for bathroom break. So, all right, and you can find me here every day here at the Odyssey, Monday through Friday. Let's see here what we got going on. We got the Friday, we got the podcast. I'm going to start live streaming on a regular basis, just trying to figure out a schedule. My schedule's looking up like I'm going to be live streaming from 6 to 8 every day. So, except for Fridays because that's podcast day, right? So 6 o'clock to 8, we'll do a live stream. We'll play video games. We'll just chit chat and stuff. So, yeah, that's the regular schedule I'm looking at. Maybe starting Monday. Other than that, we have at the end, one more what?
We have one more shout out when you're done.
After this I was gonna do Paul. Is that what the,
okay.
the one? Yeah. And next podcast we will be playing games against each other. Zach versus Joycey versus Paul versus Mike versus the chat. Okay, so
Is it in Splatoon?
It's gonna be Splatoon as we Fall Guys. So we'll play Fall Guys because it has more than 50 players. Us against the chat, and then we'll do Splatoon against each other. So
we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Fall Guys is free, right?
Yeah, Fall Guys is free. Yeah.
Oh,
free.
okay. Never mind. Okay, I can download it.
So yeah, next Friday, download Fall Guys on your switches so you guys can play here with the podcast. It's gonna be very fun, very live and stuff. I'll be dropping digital codes in the chat as well, so don't worry. It will be cool. And so that's what's going on. And of course, Indie Mania happening this June on IGN Summer of Games. Yours and truly will be hosting alongside Mr. Zach Hendricks, Paul Gill Network, which by the way, you can find him here. You can find him at Paul Gill Network everywhere. Like literally, just Google Paul Gill Network and you'll find Paul. His face like this. Like that. So yeah. So you can find him everywhere, Paul Gill Network. This June.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah, and the crew with Joy CJ is also part of the crew. She's gonna be part of a trailer curation, picking trailers for the event. So it's gonna be fun.
You're the one that gave me the title. I'm just like, hey, Joyce, you want to do this? And I was just like, oh, Indie Mania. I just said yes. I didn't even know what I was signing up for.
All right.
Asked me to do something. I just said yes.
Picking trailers. She's gonna help us pick trailers, and it's gonna be awesome. And you're gonna get a lot of demos and video games and stuff like that. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, my friends, that is gonna do it for today's podcast.
You made it. There's no better place to end your week and start your weekend. Now take a deep breath.
Take it. Come on. Breathe in.
Nintopics is here, so let it show.
Who's Rabba? Before we let you go, we got two things we gotta let you know. Number one, never give up. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because we need you.
It's not good.
We so need you.
And number two, journey on.